mobilize unemployed young people in the city to go to the countryside to work as production teams. Luo Yuan's 2 children were immediately taken into custody and interrogated repeatedly. Luo Yuan had a violent temper. When he was young, beating and scolding his wife and children was commonplace. The 2 children were particularly afraid of him since they were young, especially after their mother died. They even had some resentment towards Luo Yuan. Also used his daughter's connections to arrange her marriage, so her life was not very good. The son moved to the factory dormitory after he started working. Even after he got married, he rarely interacted with his father. Luo Yuan himself probably knew that the 2 children resented him, so he rarely contacted them and only gave them some money occasionally. The 2 children knew nothing about Luo Yuan. The investigators interrogated them for 2 days, but failed to get any useful information. While investigating Luo Yuan's children, some people who had previously been close to Luo Yuan were also invited to assist in the investigation. Geng Chongqing started to get busy again. Luo Yuan escaped with weapons on him, and the most dangerous person was Geng Chongqing, so he naturally would not take it lightly. The leader was also worried about his safety. So, in addition to the 2 secretaries, he also sent a guard to protect him 24 hours a day. Geng Chongqing also called Su Mo and asked her to be careful during this period. After all, many people knew that she was his niece, and Luo Yuan might attack her. Moreover, she was Lu Chongjing's lover, and Lu Chongjing also contributed a lot to Luo Yuan's death. Su Mo did not dare to be careless, and also reminded other people in the Lu family to be careful. After all, it is difficult to guess the thinking of a madman. At the end of September, Su Mo received a letter from Su Tingqian. In the letter, Su Tingqian introduced Su Mo to some of the customs and culture of Guangzhou, and also described their work in detail, telling Su Mo not to send them money. He also left the phone number of the school's message office, telling Su Mo to call them if she needed anything, and they would buy it in Guangzhou and send it to her. There is an import and export commodities fair in Yangcheng, which is still held as scheduled during this special period. The variety of commodities is no less than that in Shanghai, and there are even more imported goods than in Shanghai. Su Tingqian wrote in the letter that he was still a professor, and because he was demoted, he was compensated by a promotion, and his salary increased to 106 yuan. Mo Yurong was a dormitory manager, and her salary was a little lower than before, but it was still 36 yuan. The salary of the 2 was enough for Su Mo to spend, so she didn't have to worry about them. He vaguely mentioned in the letter that if Su Mo was convenient, she could help look after her old friend occasionally. Su Mo knew that they were referring to the 2 teachers in the cowsheet. This was no problem. She would find an opportunity to secretly send some meat and food over. Seeing that her parents were safe, Su Mo felt relieved. She wrote a reply letter, packed 2 bags of mountain products she had picked up during the autumn harvest, and took them to the post office to mail the next day. 1 copy was sent to Guangzhou, and the other to Guangxi province. This year, the Lujia village brigade completed the autumn harvest on October 8th. The work in the fields was finished, and everyone breathed a sigh of relief. All that was left was to dry the crops. This year, more fine grains were planted, and the harvest was very good. Lu Xingjuan and the new accountant did some calculations and estimated that this year's network points would not be worse than last year's. Lu Xingjuan was extremely happy. The more money everyone shared, the more savings he could mobilize, and the higher his bonus would be at the end of the year. October has always been the busiest month for grassroots supply and marketing cooperatives, and Lu Xiaolan is extremely busy, leaving home early and returning late every day. Originally, she went to and from work together with Su Mo, but this month, she had to go to and from work an hour earlier every day so that Su Mo would not have to wait for her. Su Mo was worried that something might happen, so she asked Lu Xiaolan to tie a wooden stick to the bicycle so that she could use it to protect herself when necessary. Fortunately, Lu Xiaolan listened to it. That day, after Su Mo finished dinner and was playing with the 2 little ones, she heard Lu Xiaolan calling her. "I'm taking the kids out to play. The door is not locked. Just push it open and come in," Su Mo replied. When Lu Xiaolan came in, Su Mo was startled. Lu Chongzeng replaced the lights in Su Mo's house with fluorescent tubes, which made the room very bright, so the scratches and bloodstains on Lu Xiaolan's body were particularly obvious. Xiaolan, what's wrong with you? Su Imo quickly got off the Kong. The tears in Lu Xiaolan's eyes finally fell when she saw Su Imo, and she started to cry. From Lu Xiaolan's intermittent narration, Su Imo learned the whole story. It turned out that when Lu Xiaolan was coming back, a few scoundrels suddenly appeared on the road. It was getting dark, and Lu Xiaolan was anxious to go home. She was riding fast, and she was frightened for a moment, and she couldn't keep her bike steady, so she fell off. The road was already paved with small stones, and Lu Xiaolan had quite a few abrasions on her hands, feet, and body, and her clothes were torn, so they were covered in blood. Those scoundrels saw Lu Xiaolan fall. They not only refused to help her, but also teased her with words, and some even wanted to attack her. Fortunately, Lu Xiaolan had a wooden stick with her, so she immediately pulled it out and started beating them. Those second-rate guys didn't dare to do anything to Lu Xiaolan. After all, she was very powerful. They just drank some wine to make them brave. Now, seeing Lu Xiaolan hit them with a stick, they laughed and walked away. As brave as Lu Xiaolan was at the time, she was as scared as she thought about it afterwards, and her whole body was trembling. Before, those people didn't dare to do this to her, and they didn't even dare to say a single dirty word in front of her. Does this mean that divorced women should be abused? After Lu Xiaolan cried, the fear she felt afterwards subsided, and her inner strength returned. So, what if she's divorced? As long as she's strong enough, no one will dare to say anything. As long as she's powerful enough, those second-rate guys will still avoid her when they see her in the future. Third sister-in-law, I heard from Guodong and the others that you know martial arts? I don't really have any martial arts skills, I just know some self-defense techniques. Then can you teach me? The self-defense technique that can kill a rabbit with one kick is enough to deal with those second-rate guys.
Sure. 주문하리.
Given Lu Xiaolan's situation, it would be good for her to learn some self-defense skills. Thank you, third sister-in-law. Lu Xiaolan said gratefully. Third sister-in-law, don't tell my parents about this. They are already worried enough about me. I don't want them to worry anymore.
Then you.
Lu Xiaolan couldn't hide the injuries on her body. I said it was dark and I couldn't see clearly, so I fell on the road.
Okay.
Su Imo nodded, and waited for Lu Chongjing to come back and tell him to beat up those scoundrels. Let me clean your wound first. This wound can easily become infected if it is not treated properly. Su Imo poured some wine and used cotton to clean Lu Xiaolan's wound, which made Lu Xiaolan grimace in pain. After Lu Xiaolan returned home, the three elders were shocked to see her like that. They were heartbroken to learn that she fell on the road because it was dark and she didn't see clearly. Don't ride your bike to work by yourself these days. I'll ask your second brother to give you a ride every day.
Li Wei said.
My knees are bruised, and I have to ride a bike every day. It must be painful. Lu Xiaolan waved her hand. Mom, no need. I can do it myself. Ever since she wanted to divorce and Lu Weigua made a scene, Lu Xiaolan's feelings for him have faded. Why are you trying to be so arrogant? Do you still want your knees? He is your brother. It is his duty to pick you up, not to mention just giving you a ride. Li Yue finished speaking. She went out to find Lu Weigua. When Lu Xiaolan wanted to divorce him, Lu Weigua said some bad things. When he thought about it later, he regretted it. As soon as Li Yue said it, she agreed immediately. The person who picked her up and dropped her off was very dedicated. He would arrive early every day according to Lu Xiaolan's schedule, and after work he would go to the supply and marketing cooperative to wait for Lu Xiaolan to get off work before taking her back. The brother and sister seemed to have eased. However, Lu Xiaolan only let him pick her up for 2 days. On the third day, she rode her bike to and from work by herself. Since she wants to learn martial arts from the third sister-in-law, she can't be too pampered. How can she learn well if she can't bear any hardship? From that day on, Lu Xiaolan would go to sumo every day after get off work and ask her to teach her. There are very few children in the north who don't know how to fight. Lu Xiaolan also has some talent for martial arts and quickly learned it well. Little and has learned to roll over. Every time Lu Xiaolan comes, she will roll over, then look up at Su Mo and Lu Xiaolan's gestures. When she is tired, she will lie down to rest for a while, and then look up again. All she knew were magic and swordsmanship. There was no spiritual power in this spiritual place, and so far, she had not seen anyone using a sword, so she had to learn some kung fu here. No matter what time it is, force is king. There is nothing that cannot be solved by force. If you can't obey after one beating, then beat them twice. When Lele saw that his sister was not like him, he became very anxious. He waved his little hands and babbled every time. After babbling for a few days, he finally learned to turn over and could enjoy the same perspective as his sister. It was another weekend. Su Mo was resting at home, growing vegetables in a newly made small wooden frame in the living room. It grows here in winter, and if you don't grow some indoors, it's hard to explain where the green vegetables come from in winter. Her superpowers had already been upgraded to the middle stage of the second stage a few days ago. She had been a bit slack in upgrading her superpowers recently, and basically relied on natural use to upgrade them. It was difficult for me to go up the mountain when I was pregnant, and then I had to give birth and take care of the child. Now the autumn harvest is over, and starting tomorrow, all teams will start paying public grain. Su Mo plans to send her child to the Lu family in the afternoon and go to the mountain while collecting firewood to absorb more energy and push her supernatural power to the late second stage. In the late stage, she will strive for the third stage. Once she reaches the third stage, she can absorb crystal cores to upgrade in her space, which should be enough for her to upgrade to the sixth level. Combined with the energy of plants, it should not be a problem for her to upgrade to the seventh or eighth level. Su Mo had just finished planting vegetables and was about to make lunch when she heard the brigade broadcast asking her to answer a phone call. Su Mo quickly put the two kids on the cart and went to the brigade headquarters. Not long after she arrived, the phone rang again. The call was from Fu Manhua. After asking about Su Mo and the child, she told Su Mo that she had gone to Yangqing to see Su Tingqian and Mo Yurong, and that both of them were doing well, so Su Mo didn't need to worry. After chatting about family matters, Fu Manhua said to Su Mo, "Xiao Mo, your elder brother is getting married next month. Your aunt called to tell you." "Really? Congratulations, big brother, congratulations, big aunt." Su Mo congratulated sincerely, feeling very happy in her heart that the old Su family had a new member. Sui Chen is 1 year older than Lu Chongjing. Although Fu Manhua is quite open-minded and has never urged him to get married, she is still very happy that the child is willing to get married early. "As I get older, I want to take care of my grandchildren." Especially after seeing the photos of the two little ones taken by Su Yuan, this idea becomes stronger. The little girl is in the army, just like your big brother. She is a woman who is just as capable as any man. Fu Manhua is very satisfied with his future daughter-in-law. "The only thing I was not satisfied with was that my mother's family was too far away and she was from the north, in Shaanxi province. It was a hassle to go back and forth. The army is good. We too have a common language."
Su Mo said.
"Yes, the girl is pretty. At first I thought she was from the art troupe, but I didn't expect she was a female soldier in the front line." "Oh, that's amazing."
Shumopras.
The female soldiers who could serve on the front line during this period were all very powerful. "It's very good. You two should get along well. When you come and see it, you will like it too." Su Mo heard the satisfaction in Fu Manhua's words and said with a smile, "Anyone who can catch the eye of my aunt is naturally great. I really want to meet my new sister-in-law as soon as possible. Aunt, when my brother takes his wedding photos, please remember to send one to me." "Okay, no problem. Send 2 photos of an Lulu as well. Your uncle talks about her every day." Su Mo agreed with a smile. The phone call was expensive, so after they finished talking, they hung up. After returning home, Su Mo started thinking about what wedding gift to prepare for her elder brother. Between brothers and sisters, it is better to give something thoughtful. Su Mo thought that both of them were soldiers and had to train frequently. There were many mountains and forests in Guangxi province and the humidity was high, so she could make a pair of knee pads for them and knit a couple scarf for each of them. After making up her mind, Su Mo hurried to Lu's house and asked Li Yue to help her exchange the wolf skin. Then she rode her bike to the supply and marketing cooperative and bought some wool. Because she had to get the things out first, Su Mo did not go up the mountain in the afternoon, but knitted a scarf at home, helped monitor the grain payments made by each brigade, and she only had time to do it at night. After working hard, she finally finished the knee pads and scarf on the third day. Before going to work, Su Mo went to the post office to mail the items, along with a few photos of the two little ones. Lu Guangying was ill and returned to work the day before the grain tax was due. Su Mo, full of energy and busying around at the grain station, I felt a little moved. If Lu Ping had been able to marry Lu Chongjing, she would probably still be alive and well now. It's really a matter of time and fate. Everything is fate. It's a pity for her elder brother that he lost his life in vain. Geng Chongqing and his men were searching for Luo Yuan. They also re-investigated the people who were closely related to him and finally found evidence that Luo Yuan had someone murder Lu's father. The driver was also arrested and sentenced to death. All I can say is that you can never judge a person by his appearance. Although that man looks honest and kind, he is addicted to gambling and owed a lot of debt some time ago. Just when I was in a state of panic, someone came to me and offered me money, so I naturally agreed. When Lu's mother learned that her husband's death was not an accident but an assassination by Luo Yuan, she burst into tears on the spot. When I woke up again, I was sometimes lucid and sometimes confused, as if I had gone crazy. After Gong Yu was taken away from Qingxi County, the Gong family used a lot of connections and was quickly rescued. Old Master Gong criticized him severely. Gong Yi also realized that he was too arrogant. This time, he really took the old man's words to heart. After seeing Gong Ye's fall, Old Man Gong felt a little relieved. Falling is not scary. As long as you can learn from the lesson, you'll be able to get up again soon. After the family discussed it, Gong Yi was sent to the countryside again by Mr. Gong. But this time, there is no good position like the president, but an ordinary small clerk. The location is also a commune not far from Haishur. Mr. Gong is afraid that if he is far away, he will not be able to see it, and his grandson will be bewitched by others to do something stupid, so he is more at ease to put it under his nose. After Yang Shuren became paralyzed, he was treated in High City Hospital for 2 or 3 months, but there was no effect at all. Gradually, Zhou Qiuying gave up. He was taken back from the hospital and Yang Suyin was asked to take care of him at home. Of the Yang family, the street cadres did not mobilize Yang Suyin to go to the countryside. Yang Suyin was even glad that she had escaped the disaster. Yang Shuren had already been suspended from the school at that time, and now he was paralyzed, so he definitely could not teach anymore. With the help of Lao Jiang and other people with ulterior motives, the school gave the Yang family some symbolic compensation, took back the house allocated to Yang Shuren, and asked them to find another place to live. At this time, Yang Suang and Zhong Ye had already gotten together. Zhou Qiuying was afraid that it would affect her son, so she packed up Yang Shuren and Yang Suyun and sent them to their hometown in the countryside. So, Yang Suyun went to the countryside in another different way. After Yang's father started working, he would send money home every month to support his parents. With his support, the Yang family was not badly off in the local area. The house was also a brick and tile house, and 2 rooms were left for Yang Shuren's family, so they would not be worried about having no place to live when they returned. Old Lady Yang was nearly 70 years old, and she was so upset to see her most promising son like this. Yang Shuren's elder brother was also very sad to see his brother like this. At the beginning, they took good care of Yang Shuren. Since he had been supported by their family for many years, they were also very considerate to Yang Suyun. At first, Yang Suyun was very dissatisfied with Zhou Qiuying for sending them to the countryside. Later, when she saw that someone was helping her take care of Yang Shuren, it felt much easier than when she was in High City, so she stopped saying anything. In her heart, she still thinks her mother is smart. Her father has supported the people in his hometown for so many years. Now that her father is paralyzed, it is time for these people to repay him. Yang Suyun thought that life in the countryside was not bad, but within a few months, things changed. At the beginning, Yang Xian only had to massage Yang Shuren's hands and feet every day, as taught by the hospital. Uncle Yang and two cousins would take over the rest of the eating, drinking, defecating, urinating, and cleaning matters. My two cousins and my eldest cousin's wife also do the housework. Yang Xian just read some books and read newspapers to Yang Shuren every day. She didn't want her life to be too leisurely. But gradually, the aunt began to order Yang Xian to do work, first occasionally asking her to help with cooking, and gradually cooking became her responsibility. They were no longer so dedicated in taking care of Yang Shuren, and often did not care about anything, leaving Yang Xian to do it herself. At the beginning, the reason why Uncle Yang's family was so active was because Zhou Qiuying said that she would send them 20 yuan every month in the future. They were worried that since Yang Shuren was paralyzed, the second wife's family would stop giving the money. Now that they knew the money would not stop, they naturally behaved well. But later, they found out that the money Zhou Qiuying sent was all held by Yang Xian, who only gave them 10 yuan a month. After spending the 10 yuan on food and drink for the father and daughter, they had nothing left, so naturally they were unhappy. Yang Xian and her daughter's food supply was still in the city. Naturally, they had no food to share in the countryside, and the food they ate all belonged to the eldest son's family. Yang Xian was so angry when she saw the first wife's family like this that she talked to Old Lady Yang several times, but Old Lady Yang did not take her side. She just said that she was a grown-up girl, and it was okay for her to help with some housework. Old Mrs. Yang has lived with her eldest son for so many years, and his family has been very good to her. Now that her youngest son is paralyzed again, she definitely can't rely on him in the future, so naturally her heart leans towards her eldest son's family. But privately, he also warned his eldest son's family to take it easy. After all, the younger son used to send money home every month, saying it was for her, but since she lived with the older son's family, she was actually subsidizing his family. Otherwise, their lives would not have been so easy. He is paralyzed now, his wife and son still send him money, and he now gives his family $10 every month. Suhong's father-in-law is the factory director. He is capable and has a bright future. If he knew how you treated his father and sister, would you still want to rely on him to support you in the future? Said Old Lady Yang. Mom, we are happy to take care of my younger brother, but Suyun is already a 20-year-old girl, and she doesn't want to do anything. How can that be justified? We are a peasant family with a good family background. We don't engage in capitalist practices. I think Suyun has learned bad things from her capitalist friend. I have to reform her, otherwise I don't know what kind of trouble she will cause in the future. Aunt Yang really disliked Yang Suyun, who acted so superior to her, as if she and her two daughters were her nannies. She doesn't want to do any work and is always picky. She doesn't have the fate of a lady, but she acts like a lady. She won't tolerate it. Old Mrs. Yang choked up. She also pays money to the family every month, so you shouldn't go too far. Mom, she only gives us $10 a month. How much is left after we take away their food? It's also true that we are not allowed to hire a nanny now. In the past, hiring a nanny would have cost dozens of dollars a month, right? I didn't ask her to do anything except cook for the family. How is that too much? She doesn't have to work in the fields, so it's not too easy for her to cook at home. If it were me, I wouldn't have to work in the fields, let alone cook, and I could do all the laundry and cleaning. Old Lady Yang couldn't convince her, so she could only helplessly say, "You decide for yourself." She is also a stubborn person. When the time comes, she will make a fuss about splitting up the family business. If she does the work herself, she won't pay the family any money. Uncle Yang's family was choked, but after that, they took better care of Yang Shuren. But they were not so kind to Yang Siyun, and they still had to do their job. They live in a hilly area. Although they can have 2 crops a year, the land is barren, and the grain output is not high. In addition to paying the public grain and receiving grain distribution every year, a family is considered lucky if they can get a few dozen yuan. They still need the money sent by the second wife very much. That day, Yang Suyun was washing Yang Shuren's soiled pants by the stream, crying as she washed. She couldn't stand such a life anymore, so she decided to become an educated youth and go to the countryside to farm. Maybe because she cried too much and her brain was deprived of oxygen. The moment Yang Xin stood up after washing, she felt dizzy and almost fell into the stream. Fortunately, she was pulled by Gong Yi, who passed by. "Comrade, are you okay?" After Yang Xin stood firm, Gong Yi let go of her hand and asked. After Yang Xin stood firm, she looked up and saw that although the other person was wearing a straw hat and blue work clothes, he was tall, handsome, and had a dignified demeanor. Her heart began to pound. "Thank you, comrade."
I'm fine.
Gong Yi waved his hand. "You're welcome. Although the stream is not deep, you still have to be careful." After Gong Yi finished speaking, he saw that Yang Suyin was fine and left. Yang Suyin looked at Gong Ye's back, and suddenly a strange feeling arose in her heart. The Lujia village brigade had bad luck this year. It was the last day to pay the public grain. The members could only wait and watch, enviously, as other brigades that had paid the public grain divided the money and ate meat. After finally paying the public grain tax, the members were extremely happy. They all gathered around the grain drying area of the brigade headquarters, discussing and guessing how much this year's work points were worth. Seeing that fewer people went up the mountain, Su Mo took a day off and went up the mountain to collect firewood. Lu Chongjing still asked Lu Guoping to collect firewood for Su Mo's family this year. But she grew vegetables in the living room and had to burn the fire wall frequently, which required a lot of firewood, so no one thought there was anything wrong with her going up the mountain to collect firewood during holidays. Winter is here, so who would complain about having too much firewood? If you have the conditions, you will naturally prepare enough firewood so that you can live more comfortably in winter. Su Mo found a place near the mountains and absorbed a wave of energy. After the absorption was saturated, she found a chestnut tree and induced childbirth. The chestnut tree, which was almost losing all its leaves, soon grew new leaves and bloomed. As a result, after chestnuts fell all over the ground, Su Mo stopped and picked up the fallen chestnuts into the space. Then she continued to absorb energy and induce birth, absorb energy and induce birth. With each cycle, Su Mo's supernatural power capacity would increase a little. This cycle for dozens of times, Su Mo felt that the bottleneck of her superpowers had loosened somewhat. She absorbed the energy of the plants that she had previously stimulated and successfully pushed her superpowers to the late second level. Each time you upgrade your ability, you need to consolidate it for a period of time to allow the crystal core to adapt to the energy intensity. If you continue to advance immediately after upgrading, it is very likely that the crystal core will rupture, making it difficult to upgrade your ability in the future. After the upgrade, Su Mo quickly started to chop firewood, clearing up the space as she did so. When it was almost done, she picked up 2 bundles and brought them to where the cart was placed. She had already placed some firewood here as a cover. Seeing that there was no one around, Su Mo quickly took out a lot of firewood from the space, which was roughly enough for her to fight during this busy period. Then they moved the firewood onto the cart and started transporting it home. Seeing that Su Mo had been gone for a long time but had not returned home yet, Li Wei became a little worried. She asked the children to look after An and Lulu and went up the mountain to look for Su Mo. After seeing Su Mo, Li Wei breathed a sigh of relief. "Why are you so slow, kid? I thought something happened to you." "Mom, it's nothing. I wanted to get it all done at once and then transport it home."
Som replied.
Li Wei helped Su Mo carry the firewood back. She went up the mountain with her. Seeing a large pile of firewood there, Li Wei also sighed. The third son didn't know how he got lucky, but he married a wife who had everything. The 2 men carried the firewood twice before they finished moving the whole pile. On November 1st, the Lujia village brigade distributed grain and money. Although the proportion of fine grains planted increased this year and a vegetable group was added, the brigade had a dozen more educated youth this year, and foreign guests were received in May, so each person was allocated 5 more days of work points than last year. Although the brigade's total income has increased compared to last year, the net value of work points is actually 1 point less than in previous years, and this year's net value is 1.1 cents. Although this net value is already very good, the money everyone received was much less than last year, and everyone felt unhappy. As a result, Some people blamed the problem on the educated youth and made sarcastic remarks from time to time. Although Sue Mo had no more food to share in the brigade, she had 2 children. Children under 2 years old ate 5th grade food, which weighed 180 kilograms a year. So during the lunch break, Sue Mo went back to the team to get food for the 2 little ones. This year, the brigade planted a lot of fine grains, and infants and young children could receive all the fine grains. Sue Mo asked for all the rice so that she could make bone porridge for the children when they were older. Then, Sue Mo bought another 200 kilograms of corn from the brigade and left it for Lou Bombing to help the people in the cowshed. Rice was 9.5 cents per pound, and corn was 0.5 cents per pound. There were a total of 360 pounds of rice and 200 pounds of corn. Sue Mo paid 44.2 yuan for the grain. Sue Mo had limited time for lunch break, so after transporting the grain home, she hurried back to work at the commune. Therefore, she was unaware of the conflict between the members and the educated youth. The next day, the pig was slaughtered, and the meat was divided. Many members of the brigade began to exclude the educated youth, cutting in line in front of the queue. When asked, they said that they had been helped to reserve their place a long time ago. As a result, the educated youth, who had clearly arrived in the queue early, were squeezed to the back of the line. Educated youth were not fools, and they understood at once that they were being targeted. This is how the meat is divided when slaughtering pigs. Only the ones in the front can pick the good meat, and the ones in the back are the leftovers. Who doesn't want fat meat these days? Not only is the lean meat not greasy, it also gets stuck in your teeth. As for the distribution of meat, the educated youth barely endured it, but after the meat was distributed, some of the educated youth from well-off families wanted to buy some more meat. Those people started to act up again, stopping the educated youth from buying meat, saying that the meat should be given priority to the villagers, and when the villagers didn't want it anymore, it would be the educated youth's turn. The educated youth were so angry that they asked Ma Jianming to bring a few representatives to find Sue Mo that night and ask her to help them seek justice. Sue Mo was an educated youth herself and had a good status in Lujia village. The educated youths all agreed that it would be more effective to find Sue Mo than to go to the commune to file a complaint. After Sue Mo heard this, she really felt, this problem is really hard to solve. The seeds of conflict have already been planted, and even if we mediate once, there will be another one. However, those people were indeed a bit too much. No matter what the educated youth were like, since they were assigned to the brigade, they were members of the brigade, and the rights and interests they were entitled to could not be deprived. However, it was not appropriate for Sue Mo to deal with this matter herself, so she took representatives of the educated youth to find Lu Qing'an and Lu Baogua and reported the matter to them. The educated youth. After hearing this, Lu Baogua also had a headache. These kids are always troublesome. They are not very active in their work, and every few days they have to ask him to go to the educated youth camp to mediate conflicts. If someone else cuts in line, won't they cut back? Why do they have to come to him for everything? He is not their father. If someone stopped him from buying meat, he would have slapped him in the face long ago. Why would he still complain? He has already said that every member is eligible to buy meat, so does he have to clearly express his preference for them? You really don't know how to adapt. If they come to him to complain now, those people will treat them well on the surface and may even target them in private. Does he have to protect them every time? Lu Baogua sighed and waved his hand, saying, I understand. You can go back. I will talk about it in the meeting tomorrow. After the educated youths left, Lu Baogua looked at Lu Qing'an, who was standing beside him, and said, Secretary, your daughter-in-law is also an educated youth. Why don't you take over the educated youth affairs? It will be more convenient for management. Lu Qing'an was startled and quickly put his hands behind his back to leave. How can I have time? I have to take care of the brigade's affairs and look after my grandchildren. My wife has had back pain these days, and I have to take care of the 2 little ones. After saying that, he left in a flash. If he was stupid, he would not take on this trivial matter. The next day, Lu Baogua called everyone to a morning meeting and talked about this matter. Educate everyone that we are all revolutionary comrades. We must build good relationships with each other and not engage in exclusion and confrontation. Lu Baogua also knew that the main reason was the decrease in the net value of work points. He called the accountant and explained in detail the reasons for the decrease in the net value of work points. Anyway, it's a variety of things, and the net value of work points is not affected by the arrival of a few more educated youth. Although this is partly the reason. After Lu Baogua spoke for a while, he let everyone go back. As for how much everyone could listen to, he had no idea. Lu Baogua was also a little angry because he heard that there would be new educated youth coming here next year. These 20 or so people are already disturbing his peace. If more come, the educated youth site will be even more crowded, and those people might start fighting. After completing his exchange study at the Military Research Institute, Lu Changzheng returned to his original unit and talked with the division commander about the transfer, including Su Mo's work. It is not difficult to arrange a job, but it is not so easy to get a good job. They have not yet gone there, so they are not sure about the situation there, and the division commander dare not guarantee it. After discussing, the two decided that Lu Changzheng would be transferred there first next year. Once they were settled, they would find a relatively good job and transfer Su Mo there. At the beginning of November, Lu Changzheng returned, and with him came his transfer order. Those who were won over by Lu Changzheng's abilities were very reluctant to let him go when they heard that he would be transferred soon. For those with potential, Lu Changzheng consulted their opinions and then applied to his superiors to transfer those people to the frontline troops. At the end of November, the newly appointed regimental commander of the army came. He was Lu Changzheng's old comrade in arms, Tao Peisheng, the one wearing Dacron underwear. Tao Peisheng was seriously injured while on a mission at the beginning of the year. It took him 2 or 3 months to recover, but he was no longer suitable for the front line, so he was transferred to the logistics unit. Tao Peisheng also had someone in his family. Now that he was injured and could not be on the front line, it would be difficult for him to be promoted in the future. So they took this opportunity and worked hard to promote him to the position of regiment commander. Lu Changzheng drove to pick up Tao Peisheng personally. When he saw his slightly lame foot, he closed his eyes in discomfort. Tao Peisheng usually looks carefree and heartless, but in fact, he is just like Lu Changzheng, who likes excitement and passion. Now that he can no longer return to the front line and can only work in the logistics department, he must be feeling very uncomfortable. When Tao Peisheng saw Lu Changzheng actually coming down from the car, he opened the car door for him and punched him with a smile. "My legs and feet are just a little unsteady, not my hands. I want you to open the door for me." After both of them got into the car, Tao Peisheng stopped laughing and said after a while, "Old Lu, Chuanzi has died." "Yeah, I heard about it." Lu Changzheng's throat was choked. The army, he, Tao Peisheng, and Zhao Chuan had the best relationship. "It was to save me," Tao Peisheng said with tears in his eyes. "So, I must live well and keep Chuanzi's share." After I was able to walk again, I went to my hometown in Chuanzi, Long Province. It was deep in the mountains and very poor. Chuanzi's mother had white hair and a hunched back. She saw that her son was about to succeed, but he was gone. Tao Peisheng touched his face. "I swore in front of Chuanzi's grave that I would treat his mother as my own mother. When I am settled here, I will bring her over to join the army. It's good to be at the rear. At least it's safe. I have to stay alive and take good care of Chuanzi's mother. But Chuanzi's revenge, old Lu, can only rely on you." "Okay." Lu Changzheng nodded. "When Chuanzi's mother comes over, just let her know if you need anything. Although he is not here, his brother's parents are all here, so he can still help with some things. Don't worry. Given our relationship, I won't be polite if I need you," Tao Peisheng said, and after a while, he returned to his carefree look. "I heard that you gave birth to twins, a boy and a girl?" Speaking of the 2 children, Lu Changzheng smiled. "Yes. Look at you." Tao Peisheng joked. "Why don't you go to the army first? Let me go to your house first and see my nephew and niece." "Okay." Lu Changzheng had no objection. Tao Peisheng had come here early, so he could go a few days later. Arriving at the county town, Lu Changzheng went to buy some meat and a chicken, then took Tao Peisheng home. Today happens to be Sunday, and Su Mo is also at home. "Sister-in-law, I'm sorry to bother you.
Tao Peisheng said.
Go away. You're disrespectful. Call me sister-in-law. Lu Changzheng and Tao Peisheng were born in the same year and month, but Lu Changzheng was born one day earlier. But Tao Peisheng refused to accept being younger and always wanted to be the older brother. Lu Changzheng introduced Tao Peisheng to Su Imo. Su Imo welcomed him, then looked at Tao Peisheng again and asked, Well, have you been a reporter before? I seem to have seen you before. Tao Peisheng laughed out loud. My sister-in-law has a good memory. She did come here last year.
Sumonari.
At that time, the spy had just been discovered and was probably here to get some information. Okay, you guys chat. I'll go cook first. Lu Changzheng welcomed Tao Peisheng into the west room, lit the Kong, and then went into the room to bring the two children over. The two kids are almost 5 months old. Anan is always one step ahead and has learned to sit up. His hobby these past 2 days is to sit up and watch his stupid brother struggle while lying down. When Tao Peisheng saw the two children, he was so happy that he quickly took out 2 big red envelopes and stuffed one into each of the children's hands. And Lulu, come here, take it. Uncle Tao didn't have time to buy gifts. You can use it to buy candy. Tao Peisheng smiled, picked up Anan, and was about to kiss her. But Anan quickly stretched out her little hand to block him. You think your uncle is dirty, you clever boy? Your uncle has been on the train for several days, so he really isn't very clean. Tao Peisheng laughed, then put it on the Kong and picked up Lele to tease him. Then, he put the two children aside and started chatting with Lu Changzheng about work. Seeing that the two children were not crying or making a fuss, but were playing by themselves, and Anan seemed to be trying to guide her brother to learn to sit, Tao Peisheng was amazed. Your daughter will be great in the future.
She is so smart at such a young age.
Lu Changzheng smiled proudly, without even looking at whose daughter she was. For lunch, Su Imo made chicken stewed with hazel mushrooms and vermicelli, braised pork, and fried 2 plates of vegetables. Her staple food was steamed rice. Tao Peisheng didn't eat much on the train, and Sumo's cooking was so good that he almost had to walk with the help of a wall. After lunch, the two went to Lu's house to sit for a while before returning to the army. After they left, Anan handed the 2 red envelopes given by Tao Peisheng to Su Imo. Su Imo opened them and saw that each envelope contained 50 yuan. It was really generous of her to give them to children. I'll keep it for you, and give it to you when you're older. Su Imo said that she would be a mother who kept her promise and would not keep the money and then disappear. At the end of November, Zhao Jiuxiang and Lao Shitu were also released from the labor reform farm. There was no significant change between the two people except that they looked a little thinner. When Zhao Jiuxiang came back and saw Lu Fubao looking very thin and dark, she immediately started crying. My dear Fubao, how did you become like this? Didn't that Lu Hohot take care of you? Don't be afraid. I'll tear her apart right now. Seeing Zhao Jiuxiang like this, Lu Fubao felt a little embarrassed and patted her on the back and said, Mom, I'm fine. 5th sister treats me very well. I am doing very well this way. Who does farm work the same way? Lu Fubao also started working this year. Since he had never done this before, the first year was indeed extremely hard, but he gritted his teeth and persevered. In fact, the hardest thing was not doing farm work but being picked on by those scoundrels from time to time. At first, he didn't dare to resist and was even blackmailed of dozens of dollars. He was caught by Lu Changzheng again, who helped him teach those scoundrels a lesson and told him that if he wanted others to respect him and not bully him, he had to stand up for himself. Lu Fubao also went to school. After learning from his mistakes, he made up his mind to stand on his own feet. So after the new year, he started to participate in road construction and then began to work. No matter how hard it was, he endured it, and at most he would cry when he got home. People gradually became willing to talk to him. Lu Fubao also made a few friends, and when the scoundrels bullied him, some people spoke up for him. Gradually, those scoundrels stopped picking on him. Lu Fubao thought it was good this way, and the way other people looked at him seemed different from before. He liked the way things were now, and even thought that it would be better if his mother didn't come back. Oh, my son, didn't I tell you that you just need to work for show? Why are you putting so much effort into it? You look so skinny. You don't even have much flesh left. Are you trying to make me sick? After Zhao Juxiang finished speaking, he didn't even bother to tidy himself up. He opened the cupboard and saw eggs inside. He quickly got the pot ready, cracked a few poached eggs, and handed them to Lu Fubao. Fubao, eat the eggs quickly. Take a good rest these days. I will make sure you recover. Lu Fubao waved his hand. Mom, I ate eggs 2 days ago. You ate them and you lost weight. When Zhao Juxiang heard this, she felt distressed again. When she was at home, she gave Lu Fubao an egg every day. Mom doesn't like eggs, but you eat them. Seeing you eat makes Mom happier than eating them herself. As she said this, she scooped up the egg and stuffed it into Lu Fubao's mouth. Lu Fubao had no choice but to eat the egg. After eating, Zhao Juxiang asked Lu Fubao to lie down on the Kong and started to clean up the house. After he finished cleaning up, he saw that it had been such a long time since he came back, and Lu Hohat had not even shown up, let alone brought anything to show her filial piety. He immediately turned gloomy and started scolding at home. What a heartless, ungrateful person. He didn't even come to see his mother when she came back. Such a black-hearted person should have been thrown into the bucket and drowned. He wasted the food. Zhao Juxiang still holds a grudge against Lu Hohat for not listening to her. When she came back and saw Lu Fubao was so dark and thin, she hated Lu Hohat even more, so she scolded him without any hesitation. After hearing what Li Yue said, Lu Hohat knew that her mother had returned. She wanted to take her things and go over to see her, but she was a little scared, so she procrastinated and was now too late. As soon as she reached the door of her house, she heard Zhao Juxiang scolding her. She laughed at herself and went back with her things. Zhao Juxiang was tired of scolding, so he went to Lu Fubao's room to ask him questions. I learned that the first 3 girls didn't even go home this year, the 4th girl only went home during the Chinese New Year, and the 5th girl only came to help occasionally. Zhao Juxiang was so angry that she was shaking all over. This was really outrageous. They didn't even care about their younger brother. They really took after their father. Each one of them was so heartless. Fubao, don't be afraid. Mother is back and will take care of things for you. Zhao Juxiang figured it out during this year on the farm. As long as people don't care about their reputation, nothing can be difficult. She and Lao Shirtu were not in the brigade this year, so they had no food to eat next year. She had to go find the 5 girls and get back the food rations for next year. I will go to the 5th girl first and ask for a bag of food. I will go to the 4th girl tomorrow and the day after tomorrow. After Zhao Juxiang made the arrangements, he said something to Lu Fubao and went out. Zhao Juxiang arrived at the Lu family in a rage, ignoring the pointing and talking of others on the road. When he arrived at the door of the Lu family, Zhao Juxiang put his hands on his hips and started to curse. He scolded Lu Hohat for being ungrateful and unfilial and for not even visiting her mother when she came back. She cursed her for having a miserable life and marrying a heartless loser, and then she would die and suffer when something went wrong. The offspring of the old ungrateful wolf is also the young ungrateful wolf. If I had known, I would have drowned it when it was born to save food waste. In short, they cursed at each other in a vicious way, and they didn't look like mother and daughter at all, but more like mortal enemies. Zhao Juxiang not only hates Lu Hohat, but also hates Lu Chongzheng. She always believes that if Lu Chongzheng had not reported her affairs, her family would not have become like this. Since Lu Xiaolan's divorce, the Lu family has once again become the focus of gossip, and a circle of people gathered at the door to watch the gossip. Li Yue thought Lu Hohat would go out to deal with it, but she ended up shrinking like a quail and had to go out by herself. Zhao Juxiang, what are you doing? Are you too full and you come to my door to scold me? Oh, secretary's wife, how dare I scold your family? I was scolding my unfilial daughter. Haven't you heard that scolding a daughter also requires government approval?
Li Yue chuckled.
Zhao Juxiang had become even more of a tough nut since his labor camp visit. If you want to scold my daughter, go back home and do it, not in front of my house. Then I'll have to trouble the secretary's wife to call her out. She's hiding in the house, so I don't dare go in. Otherwise, If she charges me with burglary, won't I have to go to labor camp again? Some people were amused by Zhao Jiuxiang's sluggish appearance and laughed. There was nothing much to do during the winter, so people hoped that Zhao Jiuxiang would make more noise so that they would have more things to talk about. Li Yue was so angry that she went into the second room and said to Lu Hohot, "Hurry up and get your mother out of here. Aren't you satisfied with the embarrassment you've made? Mom, I don't want to go out. If I give her what she wants this time, she will do the same thing to me every time she encounters something in the future. Wouldn't that let her control me? Just be patient. She'll leave naturally when she's had enough of scolding and sees that it's not working."
Li Yue choked again.
This was true, but it was really upsetting to hear. When had her family ever been cursed at by someone pointing at the door? It was truly unfair. Li Yue threw her hands away and went back to the house without caring about anything else. She said to Lu Qing'an, "Cover Anenlei's ears. Don't let her listen to those dirty words and dirty the ears of my sweetheart." Lu Qing'an didn't expect his wife to be so weak in fighting spirit. She was easily defeated after just 2 sentences. He said, "How about I go out and talk to her?" Li Yue waved her hand. "It's useless for you to go. Zhao Jiuxiang has lost all his dignity now. Let the second brother's family deal with it themselves." Finally, it was Lu Fubao who heard that his mother was cursing in front of the secretary's house, so he hurried over and dragged her back. After being scolded by Lu Fubao, Zhao Jiuxiang did not go to the Lu family's door to make trouble again. "My son is right. They still have to make a living in the brigade. If they offend the secretary's family, their lives will be even more difficult. Let's let the 5th girl go for now. She will come out to walk around the village one day, and then we can ask her for it." The next day, Zhao Jiuxiang ate early and set off for his 4th daughter's house. When she got there, she threw a tantrum and made Lu Guimei's in-laws very angry. In the end, they gave her 100 kilograms of corn and 20 kilograms of wheat to send her away. Lu Fubao was a little surprised to see that his mother had gone out and brought back a large bag of food. "Mother, where do you get the food?" Zhao Jiuxiang said, "Your 4th sister's family gave it to you." Lu Fubao thought about it and felt something was wrong. "Mom, you didn't go to 4th sister's house to make trouble, did you?" Zhao Jiuxiang knew her son didn't like her being like that and had already told her off yesterday, so she said, "I didn't make a scene. I just went over and talked to her about it. She knew I hadn't been in the brigade for a year and had no food, so she said it was a gift to me." Lu Fubao was a little unconvinced. "Mom, don't go to my sister's house to ask for food. They don't have an easy life either. I haven't spent much of the money you gave me before, so I still have a lot left. I know you're coming back, so I have already bought some food from the team. Let's eat it first, and if it's not enough, we can buy more from the team later." Lu Fubao said, and went to the room to get the money and gave it to Zhao Jiuxiang. Before Zhao Jiuxiang went to labor reform, he told Lu Fubao where his family kept their money, which amounted to more than 100 yuan. Lu Fubao was extorted of dozens of dollars, and he also spent some money on buying things, so he only has a little over $100 left. This was his first year working, and his work points were not high, only 7 or 8 points a day at most. There were more days of assignment this year, so after deducting his own food money and the money for buying food, he only got about 10 yuan. All the money to Zhao Jiuxiang. "Mom, really? Don't make a fuss. I will work hard next year and won't let you starve," Lu Fubao said. Seeing his son like this, Zhao Jiuxiang's eyes were a little moist. Sure enough, his son was the best. Those ungrateful were really wasted in raising him. Zhao Jiuxiang became more determined to ask his daughters for food. Her son is so good. Shouldn't she consider him? Fubao is already 21 years old, and other people have already married. Because of her, it will be more difficult for him to get married, so he has to prepare more gifts. This money is only 100 yuan. How can it be spent on buying food? It must be saved for Fubao to marry a wife. Her Fubao is such a good man. She doesn't want him to marry an ugly guy, so the betrothal gift must be prepared in full. "Son, let me tell you something. Your uncle Shirtu wants to move in with us. What do you think?" Zhao Jiuxiang and Lao Shirtu had agreed on it on the farm that since everyone knew about it and they had been sent to labor camps, they might as well just live together after returning. When Lu Fubao heard this, his face turned red, his lips trembled, and after a while he said, "I don't agree." After saying that, he slammed the door and went back into the house. Zhao Juxiang hurried in and advised, "Fubao, he is your biological father. He will only love you more, and we will live a good life as a family of 3 in the future. Okay?" Lu Fubao didn't listen, got on the Kong, and pulled the quilt over his head. He didn't understand. Now that his mother was back, couldn't they just live a good life together? Why did they have to go find that old stone again? Other people's mothers can become widows at a young age, but why does his mother, at her old age, have to live with her mistress? Lu Fubao was extremely reluctant to admit that Lao Shitu was his biological father, because it was a shame. He felt very anxious when he thought that he was a child born out of wedlock. Seeing him like this, Zhao Juxiang sighed and went out. Zhao Juxiang went to find Lao Shitu and told him that Lu Fubao couldn't accept it for the time being and asked him to wait until later before moving. Old Stone was a little disappointed. "Okay, no rush. Fubao is the main concern. We can move when he is willing. Do you have food and firewood for the winter?" Zhao Juxiang asked. "Yes, I didn't eat much of the food I was given last year, but I still have some firewood, which is barely enough to get through the winter," said Old Stone. "The grain has been stored for a year and looks a little moldy, but it's not a big deal. Just wash it, put it on the Kong, and dry it. I just came to tell you something. I'll go back first and try to persuade Fubao again," Zhao Juxiang said, and went back. When he came out, he saw a few ants in the distance, pointing at Lao Shita's house. When they saw Zhao Juxiang coming out, they quickly withdrew their hands. Zhao Juxiang walked over with a smile and asked, "What are you talking about?"
Tell me about it.
The ants had never seen such a shameless person and were choked for a moment. "You don't dare to say it? Are you saying that I'm not disciplined and went to do that thing with Old Stone again? Don't worry, we don't have to do that secretly now. He has lost his woman and I have lost my man, so we are going to live together." After saying this, Zhao Juxiang giggled and left. The ants were completely stunned. After Zhao Juxiang walked away, they spat. "Bah! You are so shameless at your age." The next day, Zhao Juxiang went out again. The more Lu Fubao thought about it, the more he felt something was wrong, so he put on his clothes and went to Lu Guimei's house. As soon as she reached the door, she saw Lu Guimei's husband chopping wood, so she called out, "Brother-in-law." When Lu Guimei's husband saw Lu Fubao, he snorted and ignored him. He originally thought that this brother-in-law was a good person, but he didn't expect that he was a barking dog that would bite. Lu Fubao had a bad feeling in his heart. When he met Lu Guimei and heard about his mother's heroic deeds yesterday, Lu Fubao's face turned red with embarrassment. "Fourth sister, I will go back and bring the food back to you right away." Lu Guimei waved her hands. "Fubao, forget it. Just treat it as the last thing I give her. Go back and tell her that I will be like a motherless person from now on, and we won't see each other anymore." "Fourth sister." Lu Fubao hesitated, not knowing what to say. "Go back, Fubao. Don't come here again." Lu Guimei waved her hand and asked Lu Fubao to go out. She really didn't expect that Zhao Juxiang could do this. She really didn't think about how they were doing in her husband's family. Her father-in-law had been an honest man all his life and had never made such a fool of himself. He collapsed on the Kong in anger yesterday and has not been able to get up since then. Since she never treated her as her daughter, she will be motherless in the future. Lu Fubao returned home feeling ashamed, embarrassed and angry, carrying the bag of grain from yesterday and intending to return it to Lu Guimei. Just as he reached the door, he ran into Zhao Juxiang, who was carrying another bag of grain.
"Mom."
Lu Fubao shouted, "Which sister are you going to ask for food again?" Zhao Juxiang was startled by Lu Fubao and saw that he was also carrying a bag of grain. "Fubao, where are you going?" "I'll send the food back to fourth sister. This is her gift to me as a gift. Why should I send it back?" "Mom, I went to my fourth sister's house." "Why did you do that?" "My fourth sister doesn't recognize you anymore. She told me that she will treat me as if I didn't exist anymore." Zhao Juxiang sneered. "What does it matter if she recognizes me or not? I gave birth to her and raised her."
I will be her mother until I die.
I still have to show respect to her. Mom? Lu Fubao was a little bit unbelievable. He found that his mother seemed to have changed since she came back from labor reform. Lu Fubao didn't want to say anything more and wanted to leave with the food. Seeing this, Zhao Jiuxiang hurried forward to stop him. Fubao, this food was given to me by the fourth girl. Mother, if you still want fourth sister as your daughter, please let me send the food back. After saying that, he walked around and wanted to leave. Zhao Jiuxiang put the food he was carrying on the ground, sat on it, and started crying. My life is so miserable. I gave birth to 5 ungrateful people who don't care about my life or death, and now even my son has started to disobey me. Seeing Zhao Jiuxiang like that, Lu Fubao felt his scalp tingle. Mom, what are you doing? Zhao Jiuxiang ignored her and continued crying. Seeing that some people nearby had come out to see what was happening, Lu Fubao had no choice but to throw the food he was carrying to the ground. Okay, I won't send you back. Is that okay? After saying that, he walked away irritably. Lu Changzheng did not drive home that day. Instead, he took a transport truck, got off on the main road, and took a shortcut home. As we were walking, we suddenly heard someone crying. When we got closer, we saw it was Lu Fubao. Lu Fubao. Lu Changzheng called. Hearing someone calling him, Lu Fubao quickly wiped his tears and stood up. When he saw Lu Changzheng, tears were about to fall again. Lu Changzheng frowned. A real man sheds blood, but not tears. Why are you crying? Tell me what happened. I heard from his father that Lu Fubao looked more respectable now, but I didn't expect he was still so effeminate and would only cry when something happened. Brother Changzheng, my mother is back. When the time comes, she will be released naturally. Lu Changzheng frowned. Zhao Jiuxiang was a troublemaker. With her coming back, his second brother's family would probably be lively again. My mother. Lu Fubao told Lu Changzheng what Zhao Jiuxiang had done in the past few days. Brother Changzheng, what do you think I should do? Maybe it was because Lu Changzheng helped him deal with those hooligans last time and taught him the principles of dealing with things. Lu Fubao was particularly convinced by Lu Changzheng and felt that he could solve the problem by asking him, do you still want your sisters? I do. Lu Fubao nodded. Then send the food back and buy some gifts to apologize. Tell your mother clearly that if she goes to your sister's house to ask for things again, you will cut off all ties with her. But my mother, you can't have it both ways. If you want to take care of your mother, then don't worry about your sister. If you want to think about your sister, then don't be too obedient to your mother. Unexpectedly, after Zhao Jiuxiang's labor reform, she became so desperate that she had no scruples. It was estimated that only Lu Fubao could control her. But I didn't listen to her, so she sat on the ground and rolled around, attracting everyone to come and see. I felt embarrassed. I've already been through the most embarrassing things, so I don't care about this one more. She can do her thing, and you can do your thing. As a man, you must first stand up for yourself and take care of the family, then others will listen to you. Think about it carefully. I'm going back first. Lu Changzheng waved his hand. A judge to judge family affairs. If he was not the second brother's brother-in-law, he would not bother to care. Lu Fubao squatted on the side of the road thinking for a long time, until his feet became numb. Then he stood up and limped back home. Zhao Jiuxiang became anxious when he saw that his son had not returned for a long time. Just as he was about to go out to look for him, he saw Lu Fubao coming back. Fubao, where have you been? Mom is so worried. Lu Fubao didn't answer. He looked at Zhao Jiuxiang and said, seriously, Mom, if you still want me as your son, don't go to my sister's house to ask for things in the future. Yes, Mom won't go. Seeing that Lu Fubao didn't look like he was joking, Zhao Jiuxiang quickly responded. Asking for food is indeed too conspicuous. We can just ask for money later. Mom, I'm serious. We still have money, and I've bought some food. I'll eat less in the future and won't let you go hungry. Which sister's family did you ask for your food today? I'll go and deliver it back tomorrow. Fubao, we won't send this back. Mom won't ask for it again in the future. Zhao Jiuxiang negotiated, feeling that her son seemed a little different after his trip. It's okay if you don't send it back, mother. Just give me the money, and I'll send the food money over tomorrow. Zhao Jiuxiang almost jumped up. Fu Bao, your sister used to bring a lot of things home, just a little food, so you didn't have to pay for it. Today's food was given to me by your third sister on her own initiative. Mom really didn't make a fuss. If you don't believe me, you can go and ask around. When Zhao Jiuxiang arrived at the third girl's house, he did not make a fuss. He just caught third sister Lu and gave her a severe scolding. She would make a scene at Lu Hohot and Lu Guimei's house because she had been grumbling about Lu Hohot for a year, and now she had the chance to let it out. Lu Guimei had been disobedient since she was little, and if she didn't make a scene, she wouldn't get anything. The other three girls have always been very obedient, and she didn't want to make things difficult for them. Lu Fubao went to work this year and heard all kinds of gossip about family matters. He was no longer like before, when he would believe whatever Zhao Jiuxiang said. He was not busy with farming. He also visited his first three sisters' homes and found that they were not doing well in their husbands' families. His brothers-in-law were very resentful of their families. It was not like what his mother said, that these were the sisters and brothers-in-law who took the initiative to show their filial piety. Mom, there are two choices. Either return the grain or give me money. Lu Fubao didn't want to say anything more. Brother Changzheng was right. A man should be tough when he needs to be. Zhao Jiuxiang slapped his thigh and wanted to cry out, Mom, if you want Lao Shirdu to move in, you have to listen to me. Otherwise, he will never be able to move in his lifetime. Zhao Jiuxiang choked, but stopped howling. Okay, mother will listen to you. It's only been a year, and my son is no longer obedient. Forget it, just go along with him for now, and when Old Stone comes, we can slowly teach him. The next day, Lu Fubao asked Zhao Jiuxiang for a few dollars and went to the brigade to buy a few pounds of eggs. Lu Guimei's in-laws' home lived closer, so Lu Fubao sent her food back first. Without saying anything, he just left the eggs and food, and left. Lu Guimei chased out and saw Lu Fubao's receding back and sighed in her heart. Her brother is not a bad person. She hopes that when her mother comes back, she won't lead him astray again. After seeing Lu Guimei off, Lu Fubao went to Lu Sonjia's house. Lu Sonjia had some scars on her face. Obviously, she had been beaten. Lu Fubao felt very upset. After putting down the food and eggs, he just said that his mother would not come to ask for things again. Then he stuffed the $2 he had left into her pocket and left. He knew that his third sisters-in-laws didn't like them, so he didn't bother them. After returning, he took the remaining pound of eggs to Lu's house and apologized to Li Yue. Li Yue was a little surprised to see him like that and said to Lu Qing'an, "This Lu Fubao really makes me look at him with new eyes. I thought his mother had returned, and he would become a wet nurse again." Li Yue didn't want the egg either. Instead, she took it to the second room and asked Lu Hohot to cook it for her two grandsons. November passed quickly, and it was December in the blink of an eye. As soon as December came, the snow suddenly became heavy, and it was almost a blizzard every day. In order to prevent the road from being closed due to heavy snow, the Lujia village brigade sent people to shovel snow every day. Even so, the snow on the road was still up to the calf. The transport vehicles in the mining area also stopped. It was on the mountain, and there was a risk of avalanches. Lu Changzheng had not returned during this period, and he and Tao Peixing had been guarding there. Lu Qinggan was also very busy. Every day, he and Lu Baoguo would go to the brigade to check on the lonely elderly and orphans. They were worried that they would not have enough firewood and freeze to death in the middle of the night, or that the heavy snow would crush their houses. We also have to organize people to clear the snow off the roof for them. Most of the snow on the roof of Sumo's house was cleared by Lu Xingjuan, and occasionally Lu Guoping would come to help. The treatment at that time was not as good as in later generations. We had to go to work even when there was a blizzard and overcome all difficulties to carry out the revolution. Su Mo and Lu Xiaolan walked slowly to work every day, and they deeply felt the hardships of the people in the north. Every time I walked over, my shoes and pants felt wet. Su Mo put cotton shoes and cotton pants in the office. She changed into them when she got to the office. After the wet ones dried, She changed back into them before leaving get off work. The snow was getting heavier and heavier, and there were already signs of a snowstorm. The commune's collective industries also stopped working. After all, if something happened to someone on the road, the factory would be responsible. Commune cadres were also required to go down to the grassroots level to direct and assist various brigades in disaster prevention work. There are a total of 16 brigades in Hongqi Commune. Except for Secretary Li Hongjun and President Fu Mingyong, all others are assigned to one brigade. Su Mo happened to live in Lujia Village Brigade, so Fu Ming assigned Lujia Village Brigade to her, in addition to the Lijiao production team. Lijiao belonged to the Shot-in Brigade. It was actually closer to Lujia Village. In order to facilitate work, it was assigned to Su Mo. Su Mo would go around the brigade with Lu Qinggan every morning and go to Lijiao in the afternoon. They were exhausted from running around in the wind and snow every day. Gun Chongqing took office. He asked each team to prepare some cold-proof supplies in case of emergency, so each team prepared a lot of firewood and a few quilts. Because it was so cold this year, in addition to the lonely elderly and children, some families who saw that it was not so cold last year and were lazy and didn't collect firewood this year also came to the brigade to borrow firewood. Soon, half of the brigade's firewood reserves were gone. It's only December now, and no one knows what will happen in the future. Lu Baogua and Lu Qinggan are also very worried. The remaining half of the firewood was no longer lent out. Only when there was really no firewood left at home could one come to the brigade to borrow some. Finally, the village cadres discussed and decided to coordinate the elderly widows and widowers to move in together first. It would be warmer with more people and it would save some firewood, so they could get through the winter first. Then each family went to do the work and tried their best to sleep on one kong to save firewood in case there was not enough firewood when the time came. Su Mo went to Lu Fubao's house with Lu Guilon, the women's director, who had proposed marriage for the Lu family. When they went in, they saw that Lao Shirtu had moved in with them without them noticing. As soon as Lu Guilon stated her purpose, Lu Fubao immediately said that it was no problem and he would not cause any trouble to the team. With them, his family had enough firewood to last for at least 1 month. When the snow stopped, he would go up the mountain to get some more. After inspecting Lujia village, Su Mo went to Lijiao in the afternoon in the snow and wind. She reached the foot of the village. Su Mo discovered that there seemed to be smoke coming out of the uninhabited house at the foot of the village, but when she looked in front of the door, the snow was quite thick and it didn't seem like anyone had gone in. In order to prevent any criminals from hiding inside, Su Mo quickly went to find Captain Li and told him the situation. Li was also shocked. That house was the home of the spy boy. Maybe the spy really found the place and hid inside because of the heavy snow and couldn't get out. Li hurriedly called the militia and several strong young men, and the group of people surrounded the house, then shoveled the snow at the door, opened the door, and went in to take a look. As soon as the door was opened, the smell of excrement hit the face, almost making the man at the head, but it also made it clear that there was indeed someone hiding inside. The militia quickly loaded their guns and asked the others to stay away. They went in carefully and after a while, they pulled out a girl who was dirty and skinny. When he saw the girl, "Girl, you're still alive? Why didn't you tell me you came back? What are you doing hiding here by yourself? No one would know if you froze to death." The girl called Chow just lowered her head and said nothing. Seeing Su Mo's questioning look, Captain Li explained, "This is the spy boy's sister. I don't know where she ran off to in July this year. I sent people to look for her for several days, but couldn't find her. I thought she ran off somewhere or was eaten by wild animals in the mountains." She was in confinement at that time and was not sure whether Captain Li had reported the matter. Su Mo saw that the girl was thin and small, and her figure looked to be only about 5 or 6 years old. She was wearing a tattered cotton jacket and straw sandals with the tops of her feet exposed. Her exposed hands and feet were red and swollen from the cold and had many cracks on them. Captain Li, since the government has not sentenced this child, it means she is innocent. She still needs to be properly placed. I think this child is so young, and it's not safe for her to be here alone in the winter," Su Mo said. The spy boy before. Many times, people are forced to make choices by reality, but if they are wrong, they are wrong. But this little girl is indeed innocent. Suemo looked at the house and realized it was quite old. If it was crushed by the snow, the people hiding inside would be dead. A little girl probably didn't have much firewood and food. I don't know how she managed to survive these days hiding in there alone. Yes, I didn't know she was back either. Captain Lee said, feeling a little embarrassed. This little girl has a brother who is a spy, and no matter which family she is assigned to, she would probably not be happy. If he brings this back home, his wife will definitely have a huge fight with him. Suemo also saw Captain Lee's dilemma, so she said, take her to the cowshed. It's better than leaving her here alone. Okay, then send her to the cowshed. Captain Lee made the decision immediately. This was a good idea. Everyone had a bad background, so no one should look down on anyone. Lee talked to the little girl. The girl didn't say anything, but just nodded, and then followed Captain Lee and Suemo to the cowshed. Captain Lee, what about this girl's food? Suemo asked on the way. I'll have her food rations delivered to the cowshed later.
Shomonari.
Teacher Gu and his wife were both nice people and would not be greedy for the girl's food. There were also bedding left by her parents in the cowshed, so at least she could sleep warmly. In this way, Chow was sent to the cowshed. Teacher Gu and his wife were both reasonable people and treated the girl well. Suemo would go over to check on the little girl every day and bring a pair of Lu Aichuan's old cotton shoes and an old cotton jacket to her. These old cotton shoes and cotton jackets were bought by Suemo and Dafeng.
They don't have to pay for them themselves.
The commune has relief funds, and they can just apply for reimbursement when the time comes. If I make a new one, Chow Yadu's identity will be too conspicuous, and it will probably be easily snatched away by other children. It is better to give her an old one that is safer to wear. Moreover, Suemo also privately gave a pound of new cotton and asked Teacher Gu's lover to take time to help add some. Chow Yadu first arrived at the cowshed. She didn't say a word and looked at people with fear and vigilance. She must have suffered a lot during that period. Gradually, she saw that the men were pretty nice to her, didn't beat or scold her, and even gave her food and clothes, so she let down her guard. Suemo also learned from Teacher Gu that during that period, Chow Yada hid in the mountains and ate wild fruits and vegetables when she was hungry. It was too cold on snowy days and she couldn't hide in the mountains, so she came back to the village in her small cellar, and she would secretly cook some to eat in the dead of night. That day, she was too cold to bear it, so she lit a brazier to roast some, but she didn't expect to be discovered by Suemo. That day, Suemo came over as usual. When she was about to leave, Chow Yata called her. "Aunt, there seem to be bad guys on the mountain." Suemo was shocked, and thinking of Luo Yuan, who was wanted by the whole county, she quickly asked Chow Yatu about the situation. Chow Yatu has been following her brother in the mountains since she was a child. She is very familiar with the mountains in this area, which is why she was able to hide in the mountains for several months without being discovered. Half a month before the snow fell, she accidentally discovered that there were several men hiding on another mountain. And those people have some very powerful weapons in their hands. They are short and can kill a roe deer from a distance just by raising them. Chow Yadu said as she gestured. As soon as Suemo saw it, she realized that it was a pistol equipped with a silencer. These days, the militia in the countryside are all issued with long rifles, which make a loud noise. It is normal that Chow Yada couldn't recognize it because she had never seen a pistol. Suemo confirmed the approximate location with Chow Yadu again and said to her, for the time being, stay in the cowshed and don't go out. It's not safe outside. The snow seems to be getting lighter these days, and Suemo is afraid that she will run out again, and it will be troublesome if she runs into those criminals.
Gao not dead.
If it weren't for those people who always beat her, she wouldn't like to go to the mountains. It was very scary at night. Here, everyone was kind to her. Even if it stopped snowing, she would continue to live here. Suemo reminded Teacher Gu a few more times, told Captain Lee about the situation, and then hurried back to the Lujia village brigade to make a phone call. Suemo first called Lu Chongzheng and told him about the situation, and then called Gung Chongqing to report the situation. As for how to deploy it, they discussed it. When Su Mo made the call, Lu Baogua and Lu Qinggan were also there, and Su Mo did not avoid them. When they heard this, they both felt their heads turn red. What's going on these past 2 years? Why are there always people with guns coming to the mountains? Can ordinary people still live in peace? The two men quickly called the militia captain Lu Baojia and asked him to arrange people to patrol on the way down the mountain every day. We are not afraid of 1,000 things, but we are prepared for the worst. We are afraid that when those people are surrounded, they will come down from the mountains, rush into the village, and take people hostage. Lu Baojia was also suffering. In this horrible weather, he still had to go out on patrol. It was really life-threatening. But there was nothing he could do. It was his duty. Fortunately, after 2 days, the heavy snow that had lasted for nearly half a month finally stopped, and the long-lost sunshine appeared in the sky. Everyone cheered. If the snow continued, there would be a serious snowstorm. According to the radio, many buses and trains in the north have stopped running. Each team quickly organized people to shovel snow and clear the road. The factories that had stopped working also began to resume work one after another, and Su Mo and Lu Xiaolan also went back to work in the commune. At the end of December, Lu Chongzheng returned home and went to the county to buy a lot of meat. He took it to the Lu family to cook it, and the whole family had a reunion dinner early. During the meal, Lu Chongzheng toasted his 2 elder brothers, big brother and second brother. I will be leaving tomorrow. Dad, Mom, and Grandpa, I hope you will take care of me more. Don't worry. The 2 brothers responded at the same time. I didn't feel much when the 3rd child was at home, but now that he's leaving, I suddenly feel reluctant to let him go. I always feel that my backbone is not as strong as before the 3rd child is gone. And Xiaolan, she's the only sister in the family. The 2 brothers should keep an eye on her and make sure no one bullies her. Su Mo also told Lu Chongzheng about the gangsters harassing Lu Xiaolan before. Lu Chongzheng even took Lu Xingjuan and Lu Weigua to put sacks on people in the middle of the night. After all, he was an officer and it was easy for him to be reported if he beat up ordinary people. But it was different for the 2 of them. It was okay for ordinary people to beat up ordinary people. The new regimental commander is my old comrade in arms. If there is anything at home that cannot be resolved, you can call him. Lu Chongzheng told Lu Qing'an. Lu Qing'an nodded, his eyes a little moist. The 3rd son has to be transferred to a place as far away as Yangcheng. He will be scattered all over the world, and it is unknown when he will be able to come back. It will be difficult for the family to get together again. Once things are stable over there, and I have arranged a job, I will bring Momo and the children over. Lu Chongzheng said. We have traveled so far, and the children are still so young. Why don't you let them join the army 2 years later? It will be so hard for Xiaoma to raise 2 children alone. Li Wei was reluctant to let them go. The 3rd child wanted to pursue a career, and she couldn't stop him. She loved both children and Xiaoma very much, and she felt very upset when she thought that she might not see them for several years. It will all go there sooner or later. The sooner you go there, the sooner you can adapt. Lu Chongzheng said. He wished his wife would go with him. He couldn't wait for 2 years. Li Wei picked up Lele, tears welling up in her eyes, and her tone was somewhat complaining. Can't you wait a few years before transferring? It's so good to have this unit right next to your home. Others begged to come, but you insisted on leaving. It doesn't matter where you serve in the army. Why do you have to go to the south? If it were back to the original place, it would be better. She would only be back for 3 or 2 days. Even if they didn't come back, she missed her grandchildren. So she gritted her teeth and dared to take the train to see it by herself. This is the southernmost place she has ever been to. I heard it takes 10 days to go there. She is old. How can she run so far? The journey is long and takes a long time, and young people are afraid of the hassle, so it is estimated that few of them will come back. Li Wei thought that they might not see each other often in the future, and she was overwhelmed with sadness and couldn't help crying. Why are you crying? A man should have great ambitions. In such a good company, it is not certain that there will always be a position for you. If you have the opportunity, you will definitely transfer quickly. This is a good thing. Lu Qing'an said quickly. At first, He did not understand why Lu Chongjing was transferred to such a far place in the south without being promoted even though he was doing a good job. Later, Lu Boming explained it to him, and he realized that there were differences between different units. All I can say is that his third son has a bright future ahead of him. Third brother, Dad wishes you a bright future. Lu Qing'an clinked glasses with Lu Chongjing. After you are transferred there, work hard and strive to achieve some results as soon as possible. When you come back with merit, Dad will set off firecrackers for you. Okay. Lu Chongjing raised his head and drank the wine. When my father is no longer the party's secretary, if they are willing, they can take the elderly people to the south to spend the winter. A lively, yet sad meal. The children were the ones who were excited because they did not understand parting and were naturally happy to have something delicious to eat. The adults were the ones who were sad because they all knew that it would be difficult for them to meet after Lu Chongjing was transferred there. In the past, Lu Chongjing only went home once every 2 or 3 years, and he didn't feel much about it. But now he sees his family more often every year. He feels sad when he thinks he may not see them again for several years in the future. After dinner, Lu Chongjing went to Lu Boming's room again. The two of them chatted alone for a long time before returning home. After Lu Chongjing came back, Su Mo wrote down the address of Su Tingqian and the others and asked him to visit them when he was free after he settled down there. Then he asked about the criminals on the mountain. Have they been caught? Are they Luo Yuan's group? Normally, there would be a notification when someone was arrested, but there has been no news. The militia team of the Lujia village brigade is still patrolling at the intersection leading down the mountain every day. Yes, Luo Yuan was caught, but some of them ran away, Lu Chongjing said. Moreover, they also found out an important piece of information. There was a treasure buried by the warlord in the mountain. But the exact location was unknown for the time being because the map left behind was incomplete, and they could only be sure that it was in the Bukai mountain area. It turned out that a few years ago, someone approached Luo Yuan and asked him to help find the item. After finding it, the other party would deal with it, and the money would be divided equally among them. Luo Yuan found an excuse and sent people to search the mountain, but unfortunately found nothing. Over the years, Luo Yuan also sent people he kept to look for it from time to time, but also found nothing. The reason Luo Yuan was arrested this time was because someone notified the other side that he had found a clue, and then they sent people to pick them up and rescue them. These were all extracted from Luo Cheng's mouth during the interrogation. Luo Yuan did not utter a single word. Luo Yuan had been an official for many years and was very familiar with all the twists and turns in the matter. As long as this side wants to know who is in contact with him, he must be saved. And on the other side, if they want to know the exact location and find the things before the government, they must come to rescue him. This is his only chance to survive. The two sides are still in a stalemate. Geng Chongqing has already reported the situation and is waiting for a reply from above. Why are those people hiding in the mountains? Su Mo was a little puzzled. It was so cold that they didn't find a house to stay in. Even if they didn't freeze to death hiding in the mountains, they would be wiped out if they encountered an avalanche.
Go to the mountains to look for something.
Lu Chongjing guessed that the reason why the spies had been keeping an eye on this place before might be related to this. What are you looking for? You have to go to the mountains in the middle of winter. It is said that this is a treasure left by a former warlord, but I don't know if it is true or not. Lu Chongjing said, and then reminded, don't tell anyone about this. To prevent people from being greedy and taking risks on the mountain, encountering criminals or avalanches, and losing their lives. Moreover, those people have been looking for it for so many years and still haven't found it, so he guessed that it was probably fake. Su Mo was really surprised. This Bukai mountain looked inconspicuous, but unexpectedly, it was a treasure mountain with gold mines and treasures. Did they find any clues? It's not that easy to find. I've been looking for it for years. I think it's a fake. Lu Chongjing waved his hand. The county will probably mobilize everyone to search the mountain in the spring of next year. We'll know whether it's there or not then. Su Mo helped Lu Chongjing pack up his luggage. The couple stayed together for a while and then fell asleep. The next day, Tao Peixing drove Lu Chongjing to the train station. Watching his comrades striding into the station, Tao Peixing's eyes were filled with tears. He clenched his fists in the car and bumped them against himself, just like the three of them had done before going on a mission, and whispered, "When two brave men meet on a narrow road, the braver one wins." Lao Lu, keep going with our common belief. A few days passed in a flash, and it was 1973 in the blink of an eye. Lu Chongjin called back yesterday and said they had arrived in Guangzhou. He also told Su Mo that the weather in Guangzhou was very hot, and everyone was busy taking off their coats as soon as they got off the plane. When the head of the military region travels, the troops naturally arrange a plane, and everyone can just take one, so there is no need to take such a long train ride. It is said that a new year brings new hope. On New Year's Day, the two children also gave Su Mo a surprise. Sumo came back from get off work and was sitting on the Kong eating dinner and watching two children playing. Suddenly, the sports expert crawled in front of Su Mo and raised his hands to show her. Su Mo saw that there seemed to be some frost on her hands, so she quickly wiped it off with a towel and asked, "When did you catch the snow? Aren't you cold?" Anin shook her head, and after a while, she raised her little hand to show her again. Only then did Su Mo realize that this was An's special ability. Su Mo was a little surprised. This is an ice-related ability. "And you are awesome." An nodded. She already knew that ice spiritual roots here were called ice-related supernatural powers. She had previously thought that there was no spiritual energy in this place and that she could not practice, but she did not expect that her ice spiritual root had mutated and could absorb ice elements in the air for practice. She only noticed it because it had been snowing for a while. But the speed was very slow. She tried so hard for so long, but she could only make a little frost. It will take a long time to master this skill to the point where one can use it. When little Lele saw that his mother's attention was all on his older sister, he started babbling. Unfortunately, he could only sit and could not crawl yet. The mother was so anxious that her little face turned red. After holding it in for a while, he suddenly called out, "Mom." Su Mo was startled and quickly looked over and asked, "Lulu, what did you say?" "Mom." The little guy called out very clearly this time. Su Mo was so happy that she quickly hugged Lele and gave him a kiss, praising him. "Lele is great too." Lele suddenly burst into giggles, revealing two white and tender little milk teeth. Anin secretly rolled her eyes. This stupid brother actually learned to compete for favor. In fact, she had already learned to call him that, but she was just too embarrassed to say it out loud. "Let this first prize be given to my stupid younger brother to make him happy." Su Mo teased Lele for a while and asked Anin, "Can you speak?" "Lele can speak already, so Anin should learn faster." Anin shook her head. She had tried it when no one was around, but it was difficult to make the correct sound. The main reason was that the language she had heard before was completely different from the language here. It took her a while to gradually understand the meaning of these words. As for speaking them, she still had to learn. Maybe her throat hasn't developed well yet. "Don't worry, take your time. You are still young," Su Mo said. Anin is always ahead in everything. She was afraid that she would call for help when she saw Lulu, so she spoke anxiously and heard her voice. Anin nodded. Her childish face and mature expression made Su Mo laugh. When Lele saw his mother smile, he thought he had made her laugh, so he showed his little baby teeth and giggled, making Su Mo laugh again. Lu Xiaolan came over and saw the mother and her two children laughing together. She asked, "What's so funny? Let Aunt have some fun too." In order to save firewood, after Lu Chongjing left, Lu Xiaolan came over and slept with Su Mo so that she could help Su Mo at night. Although both children are smart, the younger one has a small bladder and cannot hold his, so I still have to get up and help him at night. When Lele saw Lu Xiaolan coming over, she opened her little hands and called her Gu. Lu Xiaolan was overjoyed and quickly hugged Lele, muttering, "My nephew is so smart. He can call me Aunt at such a young age. He will definitely be something great in the future." They have a saying here that the earlier a child can speak, the smarter his brain is. When Su Mo saw that Lele actually called her auntie, her eyes flashed. According to her observation, Lele was a normal baby, but he seemed to be much smarter than normal babies. Although he was very young, he was very clever. Moreover, I haven't noticed any other differences in Lele during this period. Could it be that Lele's special ability is reflected in his intelligence? If you think about it this way, it's really possible. Anan learned everything early because she carried over her previous memories, but Lulu was just a pure child. Whatever Anan learned, he would learn it in just a few days. The learning ability is really strong. In order to test whether Lele's special ability is in the field of intelligence, Su Mo began to consciously teach the two children to recognize things. Su Mo drew a lot of pictures following the instructions for babies to identify objects through picture books in later generations, and also drew the first 20 Arabic numerals. Every day after work, I would use these things to teach my two children to recognize objects. When there was no one around, I would use the real objects to teach. In less than a week, Lele recognized all these things. Although he couldn't speak, when Su Mo laid out the things, he could point out each item accurately. Su Mo was very satisfied. Lele's ability should be superintelligence, a branch of psychic ability. If he was trained well, he would definitely be a top scientific research talent in the future. She had read novels before, about those child prodigies and genius babies who could write poems at the age of 3 and essays at the age of 4, and who could earn millions to support their mothers at a young age. They were so enviable. Now she has her own child prodigy. If she trains him well, maybe he'll be able to rest easy in the future. After teaching them to recognize objects, Su Mo started to teach the two children to recognize numbers. Lele seemed to be more sensitive to numbers and recognized them very quickly. In just 10 days, he had already recognized all the numbers from 1 to 20. Every time Su Mo said a number, he could accurately pick it out from the pile of cards. Su Mo felt a great sense of accomplishment and praised Lele profusely. Teachers should teach students like this who can understand things at once. Teachers can live several more years. No matter how high Lele's IQ is, he is still a child. He especially likes to hear his mother praise him. Every time he is praised, he will look at Anan with a proud little eye. Anan was speechless after watching this. She was too disdainful to argue with her stupid brother about these trivial things. She was afraid that she would give him a dimensionality reduction attack and make him autistic. Seeing that Anan ignored him, Lila got a little carried away and held the small card in front of her several times, babbling as if he was preaching. Su Mo was very happy to see him and thought that with An's temper, Lulu would probably be slapped in the face soon. Sure enough, one time when Lele was holding small cards and asking Su Mo to count to him, every time Su Mo said one, Anan would happily find the card first. Lele was stunned, her mouth pouting, tears welling up in her eyes, looking like she was about to cry but couldn't. Anan saw him like that. She threw the card away, crawled over and patted him on the head, as if to say, "You little brat, why are you showing off in front of me?" Seeing that Lele was about to cry, Su Mo hugged him and comforted him. Sister is older and knows more than Lele. But Lele is very smart. If he studies hard in the future, he will definitely be better than sister. Lele didn't know if he understood it or not, but being in his mother's arms, he felt a lot happier, and soon he started giggling again because of Su Mo's teasing. Li Yui had heard from Lu Xiaolan that Su Mo was teaching the two children to count, but she didn't pay much attention to it. What could a 7-month-old baby recognize? It was just playing around. In the Lujia village brigade, there are many children as young as 7 or 8 years old who still cannot count. So when I came over that day and saw Su Mo counting to Lele on the Kong, and Lele could find the numbers accurately, I was really amazed. Moreover, Su Mo not only reads out numbers, but also teaches the addition and subtraction of single-digit numbers appropriately, such as 1 plus 1, 1 plus 2, and Lele can really find the answer every time. Li Wei looked at it in a daze and left after a while. After returning, Li Wei said to Lu Qing'an, "Dad, go to the graves of Mom and Grandpa and take a look." "What are you doing?" Lu Qing'an was puzzled. "Look if there's smoke coming out of it. We're going to have a child prodigy in our family." "What is this? Where did this child prodigy come from?" As for the students from the first and second wives who went to school, their test scores were not always at the bottom, but they were definitely not among the top. With this condition, can he be a child prodigy?
Lulu,
he can actually do arithmetic. Do you have a fever? Lu Qing'an touched Li Yue's forehead. He couldn't even speak this well, let alone do arithmetic. Really? Li Yue told Su Mo what she had just seen. Lu Qing'an instantly perked up, quickly got off the Kong and put on his shoes, saying, "Let's go over and take a look." His family, who can read. Only the third child is smart, but he didn't go to college after he was admitted. If the family can have a college student, it will be a great honor for the family. Lu Qing'an and Li Yue came over in a hurry. Su Mo was collecting the cards and preparing to let Lele rest while she went to make lunch. Now that both children have started eating complementary foods, lunch needs to be prepared more delicately and take some time. Seeing the two of them in a hurry, Su Mo thought something had happened. Dad and Mom, what's wrong? As soon as Li Yue told her purpose, Su Mo smiled and handed the card to Lu Qing'an, asking him to count to Lele while she went to make lunch. Lu Qing'an tested Lele for about 10 minutes, then left with a happy look on his face, leaving Li Yue there to take care of his two grandchildren. When I got back to the front door, I ran into the eldest son, Lu Guoqiang. I waved him over and asked, "I want to ask you, what is 1 plus 3?
What?
Lu Guoqiang didn't understand. What is 1 plus 3? Lu Qing'an asked again. Lu Guoqiang is 5 years old and has not yet gone to school. That's right, you originally had 1 candy, and I gave you 3 more. How many candies do you have in total? Grandpa, do you want to give me some candy? Lu Guoqiang's eyes sparkled. Lu Qing'an was discouraged and waved his hand, saying, "Go and have fun. Child prodigies are rare. 1 is enough." When Lu Guoqiang saw that there was no candy, he was a little disappointed, but he still nodded and ran away obediently. After Lu Qing'an returned, he walked into Lu Boming's room with a happy face. "Dad, this is great news. We may have a top scholar in the future." Lu Qing'an happily told Lu Boming about Lele's situation. After hearing this, Lu Boming was also very happy. Both his parents are smart people, so the child will naturally be good. "Dad, this child must be trained well. In the current situation, I wonder if I can ask the teacher to tutor him privately." After listening to this, Lu Boming waved his hand and said, "Don't worry. The child is still young. You must know the principle of forcing things to grow faster. There were so many child prodigies in ancient times, but they were just like everyone else when they grew up because they had to bear too much pressure when they were young. Just let it go. Xiaoma is smart. She will figure it out herself. We, the older generation, don't need to worry so much."
But this.
He was not afraid of missing the good time for enlightenment. Lu Boming smiled and said, "Children and grandchildren will have their own blessings. Why worry so much? Besides, isn't Xiaoma smarter than you? How could you think of such a clever way to teach a child of these few months to recognize things? Xiaoma has taught these 2 children very well. They are ahead of others in everything. Just let her teach them." Although Lu Boming said this to Lu Qing'an, he was also afraid that Su Mo was still young and that if he just saw that the child was smart, he would teach her all at once, which would tire the child out. So he went over to check on her in the afternoon and gave her some advice. He has seen a lot in his life. It is important for children to become successful, but what is more important is their safety and health. Time flies, and it is February. The 3rd is the first day of the Chinese New Year. On the 1st, the brigade slaughtered the New Year pig again. This year, Lu Boming went to buy meat for Su Mo again. He bought 4 kilograms of pork, 2 kilograms of mutton, and some ribs and bones. He bought more bones than last year, saving them for making bone porridge for the 2 little ones. Mo Yurong sent to the 2 children were also received on this day. It was a large package. Because of the heavy snow, it took a whole month to arrive. Su Mo thought that she would not receive it until after the New Year. The 2 little ones each had 2 quilted winter suits, which were very nice looking. They were imported products, and Mo Yurong specially went to a big department store in Guangzhou to buy them. In addition, there were a lot of toys for children, a few bags of milk powder, and a few cans of condensed milk. Su Tingqian also told Su Mo to take the cans of condensed milk to the Lu family and give them to the elders. In addition to the ones for the children, he also bought a gabardine coat for Su Mo. Su Mo touched the material and estimated that the coat must have cost at least 40 or 50 pieces. Parents are afraid that 1 month's salary would not be enough to buy all these things. In the evening, Su Mo took her things and went to Lu's house. Li Yue saw Su Mo coming over with a bunch of things and was a little disapproving. "Xiao Mo, we have food. Why are you bringing so many things? Save these for the children." "Mom, this is the only major festival in a year. We still have to give her gifts, and we can't lose our filial piety," Su Mo explained with a smile. "Not all of these things were given by me. These cans of condensed milk were sent by my parents, who asked me to bring them to you. These canned yellow peaches and Chinese sausages were given by me." "Your parents?" Li Wei was shocked. "Yes, they were transferred to Yangqing 2 months ago. My father is still teaching at a university in Yangqing, and my mother is a dormitory manager at the university," Su Mo said. "I was afraid of any changes before, so I didn't tell the 3 elderly people. Now, after a few months, everything is basically stable, so I'm not afraid to tell them." Okay, that's good." Li Yue smiled. Being able to be transferred back to teach meant that everything was fine. After Su Mo returned, Li Yue told Lu Qing'an what happened. After hearing this, Lu Qing'an felt a little uncomfortable. He wondered why the 3rd brother suddenly wanted to run so far away, and it turned out that his father-in-law and mother-in-law went there. He hid it from his family completely. Could it be that if he wanted to go over, they would not agree? She was the only one in the old daughter-in-law's family, so they understood that she had to take care of that side more. Why did they keep silent? People say girls are extroverts, but he sees that boys are also very extroverted. Li Yue knew what he was thinking and said, "I said at the beginning that we shouldn't let the 3rd child transfer so early, and you said that men should have ambitions. Now that he has passed away, why are you still thinking about it? It's good that my in-laws are there. Xiaoma will have someone to help take care of the child. Otherwise, she will be alone, working and taking care of the child. How can she take care of it?" Li Yue had previously thought that Su Mo would stop working and would go with the army to take care of the child. However, she heard from Su Mo that she would be transferred there and would have to work in Guangzhou, and would send the child to a nursery when the time came. Li Yue was extremely worried. What if such a young child was beaten in the nursery? How could she file a complaint when she couldn't even speak clearly? If it wasn't too far, she would have thought of going there and raising the 2 children first. But it's so far away, and if she goes there, it might take several years for her to come back. What will happen to the old man and dad at home?
Who will cook for them?
Now that my in-laws are over there, they can help out a little. On New Year's Eve, I work half a day. Su Mo first called Geng Chongqing and asked him if he wanted to come over for the reunion dinner. Geng Chongqing has been very busy recently, and with his secretary and guards also there, it would be inconvenient to bring too many people with him, so he said he would not go and would go to pay New Year's greetings tomorrow. Way back, Su Mo went to Lijiao, took a straw basket, and carried some things to the cowshed. On the way, I happened to meet Captain Li. "Researcher Su, are you going to see Chao Yadu again?" asked Captain Li. "Yes, it's New Year's Day, so I brought some food for the kids." Su Mo said openly, there was nothing wrong with it. Everyone knows that during this period, she has visited Chao Yadu frequently, both for official and personal reasons. "It's Chao Girl's blessing to meet you." Captain Li sighed. This researcher Su is really a good person. Chao Yadu is also a pitiful person, but this is the trend these days, so he can't interfere too much and just say a few words when he doesn't like it. "I am a mother myself. The child looks pitiful and is not a good thing. It is New Year's Day, so I will give her 2 bones to taste." "You are kind-hearted. Cooking for them will also be a good way to have a New Year's Eve dinner," Captain Li said. Since Su Tingqian and his men were rehabilitated, the villagers of Lijiao have become much more polite to the people in the cowshed. Who knows if the remaining 2 will also return to the city soon. Not to mention making good friends. At least don't make enemies. They were almost at the cowshed. Su Mo took some things from the space and put them in the straw basket. As soon as Su Mo arrived at the cowshed, Chao Yatu, who was washing things, saw her. She immediately dropped her things and ran over. "Auntie." Suemo took out a handful of candy from her pocket and gave it to Chow Yatu, saying with a smile, "It's New Year's Day, and I brought you some food. You have to listen to the two teachers while you're here, okay?" Chow girl nodded vigorously and said, "I know, I am very obedient." Chow Yatu is indeed a good child. She has lived here for more than a month. Except for the first few days when she was a little cautious after she got familiar with the environment, I heard from Teacher Gu that she got up early every day, rushed to work, and was extremely diligent. When Mr. and Mrs. Gu heard the noise, they came out of the cowshed. When they saw Sue and Mo, they politely asked, "Researcher Sue, are you here to see the child again?" "Yes, I brought some things over. Let's put them in the kitchen first," Sue and Mo said, carrying the basket and walking towards the kitchen. Teacher Gu and his wife followed her. Sue and Mo brought over 2 kilograms of flour, 1 kilogram of eggs, 2 pieces of bacon, about 1 kilogram of fresh meat, and a few bones. "Xioma, you don't have to send anything over here anymore. It's too risky," Teacher Gu said in a low voice. Sue and Mo waved her hand. "It's okay, I just happened to send something to Chow Yatu. Once this is settled, I'll see if I can apply for a reward for Chow Yatu. Then her life will be easier. There is no news from above yet, and I don't know if those who escaped have been caught." Sue and Mo didn't dare to apply for a reward at this time. What if the escaped people are still outside and come to seek revenge after hearing the news? It would be troublesome. Sue and Mo whispered to Teacher Gu again. "My father wrote to me and asked me to say hello. He told you to take good care of yourself and that there will always be light at the end of the tunnel." Teacher Gu's eyes were a little moist. "I will. Tell your father not to say these things in the letter in the future, so as not to implicate him again." Sue and Mo nodded, put down her things, encouraged Chow Yatu a few words, and then went back. After returning home, Sue and Mo first wrapped a red envelope, then took the things, and went to help the Liu family. 4 or 5 children. The fee is still the same as last year, $2 per person. The 3 elderly people helped take care of the child for most of the year and didn't want any money, so Sue and Mo gave each of them a red envelope of 50 yuan. The New Year's Eve dinner is almost the same as last year. Each family brings some meat, and everyone cooks it together at the elderly's house and has a reunion dinner. This year, Sue and Mo took fish and mutton and made braised fish and mutton soup. The eldest wife took a chicken and made chestnut braised chicken. The second wife took a rabbit and a portion of pork and made braised rabbit meat and steamed pork with rice flour. Seeing that the 3 daughters-in-law had brought so much meat, Li Yue prepared meat dumplings, then chopped the stuffing and asked Sue and Mo to make pancakes. Dinner was also a lively occasion. After dinner, it was time to pay New Year's greetings. Each family greeted each other in turn and gave out red envelopes. The younger generation had to kowtow, but the 2 children were still too young, so Sue and Mo taught them to bow with their hands clasped. Not to mention, he acted very well and made the adults laugh. Maybe it was the first time that Nen felt such an atmosphere. Today, he was particularly well behaved and cooperative in everything. He did whatever he was told to do. The family gathered at Lu's house until about 10 o'clock. Seeing that the children were sleepy, they went home. Lu Xiaolan had been living with Su Mo recently, so she went back with Su Mo. When they arrived at Su Mo's place, Lu Xiaolan took out 2 more red envelopes and stuffed them into the 2 little ones' hands. "Xiaolan, I've already given it to you. Why are you giving it again?" Su Mo waved her hand, wanting to take the red envelope back to Lu Xiaolan. Since Lu Xiaolan divorced and returned to her parents' home, she has paid 15 yuan for food every month. She only has a salary of 24 yuan, and she also buys things for her family from time to time. How much money can she save? Lu Xiaolan held Su Mo down. "Sister-in-law, please don't. This is my intention as an aunt. I have really troubled you and Brother San this year. Xiaolan, we are a family, we don't say such things."
"Yes."
Lu Xiaolan nodded. "It is my blessing to have a family like you." During the 3-day New Year holiday, the supply and marketing cooperatives and other service industries do not have holidays. Tomorrow is Lu Xiaolan's turn to be on duty. After Lu Xiaolan fetched water and washed up, she went to bed to rest. And Lele was also feeling sleepy and fell asleep soon after returning home. Sue and Mo couldn't fall asleep for a moment, so she started opening the two little red envelopes. There were 4 envelopes worth $2 each, which should have been given by the eldest and second wives. I guess they saw that she gave $2 last year, so they also gave $2 to the 2 little ones this year. Worth $1 each were sent by Lu Xiaolan for the first time. There were also 4 $10 envelopes given by Mr. and Mrs. Lu Boming and Lu Qing'an. I don't know if it's the same for everyone or just her family. If it's the same for everyone, with 7 grandchildren in the family, the older generation would have to spend a lot of money to give out red envelopes. Sue and Mo opened the 2 envelopes Lu Xiaolan had just given her, each of which was also 10 yuan. Sue and Mo sighed. This almost cost Lu Xiaolan a month's salary. Thinking that there was still a lot of cloth that her aunt had brought over before, Sue and Mo planned to ask Li Yue to take a piece of cloth and make a new dress for Lu Xiaolan. New Year. Lu Xiaolan had breakfast and went to work. In the Commune Supply and Marketing Cooperative, everyone has to work 2 days. Lu Xiaolan doesn't have to go back to her parents' home this year, so she works on the 1st and 2nd days of the new year and has a rest on the 3rd day. Sumo also got up early in the morning and started working. She first cooked bone porridge for the 2 little ones on a small stove and then stewed the mutton she bought from the Supply and Marketing Cooperative. The weather is particularly cold this year. I will have a bowl of hot mutton soup when Uncle Gung comes over. After finishing, Sue and Mo returned to the room and saw and had stood up and was taking trembling steps on the Kong. Lulu was sitting on the side, clapping his hands to cheer for his sister. My sister, and is so strong. She can walk at just 7 months old, and would walk for a while, sit down to rest for a while, and then continue walking. Even if he fell, he would get up and continue. He seemed to be a person who could endure hardships, and take a rest if you are tired. Your limbs are still weak, so don't hurt yourself. Suemo looked at him for a while and reminded him, and nodded, walked a little more staggeringly for a while, and then sat down to rest. Then, he looked at Suemo, moved his lips several times, and then said, Mom, I'm hungry. Sumo's eyesight was excellent. When she saw an yelling Mom, her ears quickly turned red, and she started laughing. When Enin saw Suemo laughing, her ears turned even redder. When Lele saw her mother smiling, she quickly crawled to sit next to her sister and imitated her sister. Mom, I'm hungry. Okay, I understand. Baby Enin can talk today. He deserves praise. Suemo smiled and went out, took out the steamed eggs that she had steamed for the 2 little ones in the morning from the pot, took a small spoon, and fed them to the 2 little ones 1 spoonful at a time. The middle of the morning, Gung Chongqing came over with a lot of things, and with him came his guard. Suemo said yesterday that Gung Chongqing would come today and asked the 3 elders to have dinner at her place.
Li Wei was already here at this time.
When she saw Gung Chongqing coming, she greeted him and went back to call Lu Qing'an and the others. In the west room early in the morning, and it was now warm. Suemo welcomed them into the west room and brought 2 bowls of hot mutton soup for them to drink to warm themselves up. After Lu Boming and the others came, Suemo asked a few people to chat in the west room and put the child in the west room for them to look after. She and Li Yue started to cook. The mutton soup had been stewed until soft. Before going on holiday, Suemo bought a big fat chicken from the Supply and Marketing Cooperative and divided it into 2 halves. She used 1 half to make chestnut braised chicken and the other half to stew mushroom vermicelli on a small stove and make braised pork. Gung Chongqing brought some beef, and Suemo had just sprouted bean sprouts before the new year, so she made some boiled beef. In this day and age, cattle are farmers' best friends, so beef is very rare and hard to come by. It's been more than a year since Suemo traveled through the book, and this is the first time she's eaten beef. Then 2 large pots of green vegetables were fried, and the staple food was rice. Gung Chongqing's guards were eating with their eyes shining. They usually ate in the cafeteria every day and only went to the state-owned restaurant occasionally for a meal. Secretary Gung's niece's cooking skills seemed much better than the chefs in the state-owned restaurant. Gung Chongqing was also busy. After dinner, he had to go to the city. The three elders did not bother him much. After dinner, they chatted for a while and then went back. After everyone left, Geng Chongqing signaled the guards to wait for him outside the car. Then he took out 3 red envelopes, gave the obviously thicker one to Su Mo and the other 2 to the 2 little ones. New Year's money, Geng Chongqing said with a smile. I've been busy lately and haven't had time to think about you. I heard from Chongzheng that you also want to be transferred to Yangcheng with the army?
Shumonari. It's been a month now.
Have you heard any news about your work arrangements? Su Mo shook her head. No news yet. He called half a month ago and said he was going to special training. He hasn't called back yet, so he probably hasn't finished the special training yet. I do have a job here. The Foreign Trade Center in Yangcheng needs a translator. If you want to go, I can recommend you. However, I cannot guarantee whether this job can be successful. It all depends on you. After all, the job of translation is not something that anyone can do. One must have the ability to do it. If you want to go, I will ask them to send a sample manuscript over, and you can translate it and send it back. If there is no problem, they will send you an exam notice, and you can only arrange a job for you after you pass the exam. Su Mo's eyes lit up. This was a good job. It was what she was good at, and she could get in touch with things outside. She could also build up a network of relationships. After the reform and opening up, she would have ready-made relationships to use. I want to go. Uncle Geng, please recommend one.
Shumonari bigereshli.
Geng Chongqing smiled and said, Okay, then wait for my news. I have something to do in the city, so I'll leave first. It's cold outside, and the child is still in the house, so don't send him off. After saying that, he left with the guard. Geng Chongqing left. Su Mo looked at the red envelope in her hand and opened it. There was 100 yuan for her and 50 yuan for each of the 2 children. Uncle Geng's salary was about the same as Lu Chongqing's, and this time, he lost almost 2 months' salary. Fortunately, he hadn't started a family yet, otherwise his wife would have come here with a big knife to kill him. Sometimes, when you owe too much favor, you can only lie down and pay it back when you have the ability to do so. Su Mo put away the red envelopes and separated the red envelopes for the 2 little ones. Unexpectedly, the 2 little ones, less than 8 months old, each had a deposit of 135 yuan by receiving red envelopes. She had heard a saying in later generations, small wealth depends on hard work, great wealth depends on elders and luck. That really makes a lot of sense. On the second day of the Lu family, except for the eldest wife who went back to her parents' home to visit relatives and Lu Xiaolan who went to work, the rest of the Lu family was at home. Because of Zhao Jiuxiang's disturbance, Lu Hohot did not go back to her parents' home. If Lu Hohot did not mention going, Lu Weiguo would not say so. Instead, Lu Fubao took some things and went to visit the relatives of the second house, as if they were siblings. In the evening, when Lu Xiaolan came over, Su Mo saw that she seemed to be worried, so she asked her, and she said it was nothing. On the 3rd day of the Chinese New Year, Lu Xiaolan was resting. Li Yue thought that since it was a rare Chinese New Year and no one had to go to work, she decided to take the family to the county for a walk. Ever since Lu Chongqing took her to the city for a stroll last year, Li Yue has become more relaxed. After a lifetime of hard work, now that she is old, it would be good to have a chance to go out for a walk, broaden her horizons, and see the world. Because there were so many people and it was inconvenient to ride a bike, everyone decided to rent a tractor from the team, take them to the county, and bring them back in the evening. To the county town, and the tractor runs on oil, so the team charged a 2 yuan usage fee. The money was paid by Lu Xingjuan. He attracted a lot of deposits last year, and at the end of the year the credit union gave him a bonus of more than 80 yuan. Children had never been there. When they heard that they were going to the county, they all jumped for joy. Seeing that everyone was so happy, Su Mo brought her camera with her and took some pictures for everyone. The tractor was going quite fast, and it took about 40 minutes to reach the county town. If you took a bicycle, it would take more than an hour. Driving the tractor was Lu Baogua's youngest son. After telling everyone to meet at the entrance of the bathhouse around 4 p.m., he took a bath ticket and went into the bathhouse to take a bath. Qingxi County is not very big, and there are not many attractions to visit, but the children still wowed because they have never seen so many buildings. In the brigade, all the houses are bungalows. The only building in Hongqi Commune is the commune office building. Aunt San, is it very comfortable to live in this building? Lu Fengqin asked Su Mo. In their family, Aunt San was the only one who lived in the city. Su Mo shook her head and smiled. No, our home is more comfortable. We have a con in winter. You can't heat the Kong in a building. It's very cold in winter. At that time, there was no heating in small places. People living in high-rise buildings relied on coal stoves for heating in winter, which was naturally not as comfortable as heating a Kong. Oh, we can't heat the Kong? Then we won't be able to sleep at night? The children's yearning for living in a building was instantly suppressed by Su Mo. This building looks decent, but if you have to endure the cold, you'd better not live in it. A group of people went to the supply and marketing cooperative first. The children looked around and found everything very new and interesting. The supply and marketing cooperative in the county is at least 3 or 4 times larger than that in the commune, and the variety of goods is also much richer. Since they were all out having fun, Li Wei did not hesitate to buy egg cakes, candies, and frozen pears for the children. Su Mo looked around and didn't see Sister Lu. She probably thought she was on vacation. Then she went to buy film. At that time, film was 1.2 yuan per roll, which could take 16 photos. Su Mo bought 3 rolls directly. After shopping, the family strolled around the county. Su Mo took a lot of photos for everyone, including group photos and individual photos. At noon, the whole family went to the state-owned restaurant to eat. Since there were so many people, it would be too extravagant to order so many dishes, so they just had noodles and buns, which were paid for by Lu Boming. After dinner, the whole family went to the cinema to watch a movie. This was the era when the 8 model operas were watched for 8 years, and almost all the movies released were ones that we had seen a long time ago, but everyone was still very excited to watch them in the cinema for the first time. Movie tickets were 1 cent each, and Lu Weigua bought them, while Lu Xiaolan bought soda and popcorn for everyone. Little Lele was excited all day, but when he arrived at the cinema, he was so sleepy that he fell into a deep sleep. Annan looked at it carefully for a while. It was the first time she had seen something like this. Although the pictures in this so-called movie are not as good as the photo stone of her time, the recording time is still quite long. However, the people in it are very stiff. After the movie, it was almost time, so everyone went to the bathhouse entrance and took a tractor back. On the way, Li Yue and Su Mo sighed. The department stores in the city are still better. The ones in the county are still nothing to see. Unfortunately, it's too far to go to the city if you don't have a car. The year passed quickly, and everyone went back to work. In late February, Su Mo received a call from Geng Chongqing, asking her to go to his office to get the translation test papers. When Su Mo went there, she asked about Chao Yadu. She thought that before leaving, she would apply for Chao Yadu's reward so that her life would be easier in the future. This matter is quite complicated. There are 2 parties looking for the so-called treasure. One is foreign forces, and the other is involved with certain people. Therefore, Luo Yuan's matter is still at a stalemate for the time being. This matter cannot be concluded yet. If you want to apply for her reward before you leave, you can only find another reason. Geng Chongqing said.
Sumonadit.
It seemed that she had to think of another way. After returning, Su Mo spent 2 days translating the translation test papers sent from Yangcheng, which were some inquiry letters and reports on new products. This was almost no difficulty for Su Mo, so she translated it quickly and then sent it back to the address given by Geng Chongqing. Mid-March, Su Mo received a reply from Yangcheng, which affirmed her foreign language ability and invited her to Yangcheng to take the recruitment exam at the end of April. Of course, Su Mo would take part in this recruitment exam. But since Lu Chongzhen called in mid-January, there has been no news. Su Mo went to the post office and called the communication room of Lu Chongzhen's new unit. Sure enough, Lu Chongzhen was still participating in the training and had not returned.
Sumo.
It seems I can only rely on myself. After Su Mo returned to the brigade, she called Tao Peisheng, told him the situation, and asked him if he could contact the division commander. Since Lu Chongjing was not there, she could only ask her leader to complete the procedures for accompanying the army and transfer the food and other matters. Otherwise, when she got there, she would have neither housing nor food. Wouldn't she become an illegal resident? When Tao Peixing heard this, he immediately patted his chest and promised to help her and asked her to wait for his news. The next day, Tao Peixing went to the commune to find Su Mo and said that Lu Chongjing was participating in a very important training camp and he didn't know when he would be back. He has already reported the situation to the commander, who said he would be waiting for her call in the office today. This matter could not be delayed, so during lunch break, Su Mo took the phone number written down by Tao Peixing and went to the post office to call her commander. After the call was connected, Su Mo told her needs to the commander and asked if he could make some concessions and allow her to accompany the army in advance. Comrade Su Mo, this is no problem. Comrade Chongjing's housing has been arranged by the army early in the morning. I'll have someone go through the formalities. However, there is no suitable job for you yet. If you don't get the job, you may have to wait for the army to arrange it. Lu Chongjing is a very picky guy. Before, when he suggested asking his wife to help in the canteen, she refused, saying that she worked in an office. He had thought that the boy was bragging before, but now that he had passed the first round of the job at the Foreign Trade Center, it seemed that he was indeed capable. Sending him to the cafeteria was really a waste of his talent. Okay, thank you, Commander. I'll wait for your notification. If I don't pass the exam, I'll wait for the army to arrange for me, and I'll do whatever job is assigned to me. Su Mo thanked him and gave the commander the phone numbers of the commune office and the Lujia village brigade. Now that the matter was settled, Su Mo breathed a sigh of relief. After hanging up the phone, she thought about going to the supply and marketing cooperative to see if there was any meat left for sale. The supply and marketing cooperative of Hongqi Commune usually delivers meat once every 3 days except on holidays, and today was the day that meat was delivered. The two little ones are more than 8 months old and can walk already. They exercise a lot, eat more, and grow taller, so their nutrition must keep up. As soon as I arrived at the supply and marketing cooperative, I saw Yang Jingming standing next to Lu Xiaolan's counter again. He wanted to speak but didn't dare to, looking pitiful and abandoned. Su Mo frowned as she watched. After the new year, Yang Jingming got the news from somewhere that Lu Chongjing had been transferred. Without Lu Chongjing's pressure, Yang Jingming began to pester Lu Xiaolan. Whenever I have free time every day, I go to the supply and marketing cooperative. At first, he wanted to strike up a conversation with Lu Xiaolan, but Lu Xiaolan ignored him and just stood aside, watching him with resentment, which was really annoying. Lu Xiaolan would kick him out at first, but once she did, he would go shopping, and now she couldn't kick him out anymore. Moreover, Yang Jingming seemed to have bribed Lu Xiaolan's colleagues. Every day someone advised Lu Xiaolan to remarry him, which made Lu Xiaolan very annoyed. If Yang Jingming did something extreme, she could sue him for hooliganism, but Yang Jingming just watched or followed from a distance and he did nothing, so she couldn't do anything to him. When Yang Jingming saw Su Mo coming to buy something, he didn't stand there any longer, but turned around and left. Su Mo went to the butcher shop first and bought a pound of meat. She didn't dare buy too much. After the two children started eating complimentary foods, they had to buy meat every time. Lu Chongjing hadn't sent any meat coupons since he went to Guangzhou, and most of the meat coupons she had saved had already been used up. After buying the meat, Su Mo walked up to Lu Xiaolan and whispered, "How about we find a time to secretly beat up Yang Jingming? Otherwise, it would be very annoying to do this every day." The two of them have been practicing for a while. To beat that weakling Yang Jingming, Su Mo doesn't even need to do anything. Lu Xiaolan is enough. Lu Xiaolan waved her hands. "Forget it. Third sister-in-law, I'll just treat him as a piece of wood and not look at him." If Fang Chunfang knew that they beat her precious son, she would come to make a scene. She was not afraid of her making a scene, but she didn't want her third sister-in-law to get into trouble. Su Mo felt that this was not a solution. If he did this every day, wouldn't it block Lu Xiaolan's chance of remarrying? In this day and age, it is already difficult to find a second marriage, and if there is an ex-husband who harasses you every day, no one dares to mess with you. We still have to think of a way. Either let Yang Jingming change his target, or threaten him so that he dare not bother Lu Xiaolan again. Before Su and Mo could come up with a good way to deal with Yang Jingming, new trouble arose from the Lu family. Over the past few days, some people came to Li Yue and said they wanted to propose marriage to Lu Xiaolan. Some were from the same team, and some were from Li Yue's family. This made Li Yue very angry, and she rejected them all. Our brigade, because of the branch secretary Lu Qinggan, dared not say anything to his face and could only mutter behind his back. But the one who came from Li Yue's mother's family thought she was Li Yue's cousin and started to act very arrogantly. First, he belittled Lu Xiaolan as worthless, and then, as if he was agreeing to it reluctantly because she was his relative, he wanted to marry Lu Xiaolan to the nephew of her deceased wife. Li Yue was so furious that she immediately took a broom and kicked the man out. Her cousin-in-law immediately started cursing with Li Yue at the door of the Lu family. She said some very unpleasant things, saying that Lu Xiaolan was infertile, did not know how to live, had problems with her work style, and was still flirting with her ex-husband after the divorce. Li Yue was so angry that she had a fight with her, which added a lot of gossip and jokes to the team. When Lu Xiaolan came home from get-off work, she heard the news from the gossiping aunts in the village. She was so sad that she made a decision secretly. She could tolerate it herself, but it was really unfilial to bring trouble to her parents to this extent. At night, when they were going to bed, Lu Xiaolan said to Su Mo, third sister-in-law, I want to go to Yangqing with you and help you take care of the children. Just give me food. Is that okay? Su Mo was startled and sat up immediately. Have you thought it through? Have you discussed it with your parents? Lu Xiaolan nodded and said firmly, think it through. If I'm still here, Yang Jingming won't give up, and those troublemakers in the village won't stop. If I leave, the source will be gone, and things will stop. I'll make it clear to my parents that I'm going to stay in Guangzhou for a few years and will come back when the time comes. I have thought clearly about the work. I will let my sister-in-law do the work first and give 10 yuan to my parents every month as her salary for the work. Third sister-in-law, if you agree, I will go to Yangqing with you. Of course I agree. I'm just afraid of delaying you. The two children were still young, so she was not particularly relieved to send them to the nursery. No matter how smart they were, they could not beat the older children. She originally planned to see if it was convenient for the mother to bring the child to work when she arrived in Guangzhou. If it was convenient, she would send the child to her place and let her raise the child first. She fully supported Lu Xiaolan's willingness to take care of her children. Not only was she provided with food, but she was also paid. No need to delay, third sister-in-law. Thank you so much. Lu Xiaolan breathed a sigh of relief. As long as Su Mo agreed, it would be fine. Will my parents agree? It's so far away. Su Mo estimated that Li Yue might not agree. I will convince them. The next day, Lu Xiaolan got up early and went back to the Lu family to talk to her parents.
As sumo guest, Li Yue disagreed.
However, Lu Xiaolan understood her mother and appealed to her emotions and reason. Then the two children talked about the incident again. She told Li Yue about what she heard from a colleague about the older children beating the younger ones in the nursery. Li Yue was so scared that she was stunned. Thinking that his two good grandchildren might also be beaten, he thought again that what Lu Xiaolan said actually made sense, so he reluctantly agreed. Once Li Yue was dealt with, Lu Qing'an would be easy to deal with in no time. Lu Xiaolan went to talk to Lu Boming again. Lu Boming was very much in favor of his descendants going out and seeing the world when they had the chance, so naturally he did not stop them. However, some suggestions were made about the way Lu Xiaolan handled her work. Don't worry about giving your job to anyone. Just sell it. Call the two families over and give it to whoever pays. Your work can be sold for 400 or 500 yuan at the current market price. Just sell it at the market price. But if I sell my job, what should I do when I come back? Lu Xiaolan hesitated. Lu Boming waved his hand. You are taking care of the children of your third brother and his wife. Do you think that given their character, if you want to come back, they will find you a job? Lu Xiaolan thought about it and realized that it was true, so she said, okay, Then I'll do as you say. In the evening, after dinner, Lu Xiaolan called the first and second wives and Su Mo to the living room of the Lu family. Lu Xiaolan told Su Mo that she wanted to leave here for a while and go to Yangcheng. Then she said that she wanted to sell her job and asked if anyone in the first and second houses wanted it. Brother, I've asked around. If I sell my job, I can get 500 yuan. If my family wants it, I'll sell it for 400 yuan. At this time, the market price for selling a job is generally 2-year salary. Everyone knows the salary for my job. It's 24 yuan a month, with some ticket subsidies every month and a lot of defective products during the New Year holidays. I get 4 days off a month in the off-season, but no days off in the peak season. In this age of material scarcity, it was a great thing to have someone in the family working in the supply and marketing cooperative. It meant that when the family wanted to buy something, they didn't have to fight for it like everyone else, but could ask someone to keep it for them and then go buy it later. Therefore, although the salary of a supply and marketing cooperative is not high, it is very popular. This job is not only easy to get started, but also easy and decent. Some courageous people can also use this job to make a lot of extra money, such as Sister Lu from the County Supply and Marketing Cooperative. After Lu Xiaolan finished speaking, Lu Yuji quickly said, "Little sister, why don't you sell it to me? Your eldest brother is at home most of the time and can take care of the children. It's no problem for me to go to work." Lu Xiaolan did not answer directly, but asked Lu Hohot, second sister-in-law, "What do you think?" Lu Hohot also wanted to do it, but when she thought that if both of them went to work, there would be no one to take care of the 2 boys at home, she hesitated and was overtaken by Lu Yuji. But since Lu Yuji had already spoken, there was no point in her snatching it away, so she said, "Give it to sister-in-law if she wants it." "Okay. Since the second sister-in-law has no objection, then sell it to the eldest sister-in-law." Lu Xiaolan made the decision directly. Lu Yuji was very happy. "Okay, I'll ask your eldest brother to get the money tomorrow and then give it to you." The eldest wife had saved some money in the past 2 years. Although it was not much, she could still afford the 400 yuan for buying a job. Then he said to Lu Hohot's second sister-in-law, "From now on, if you want to buy something, just tell your eldest sister-in-law. If there are defective items, I will leave them for you first. The second wife, if she doesn't compete with her for work. As the eldest sister-in-law, she still has to show the tolerance she should have." The discussion, everyone dispersed. On the way back, Lu Hohot stopped Su Mo and asked, "Third sister-in-law, are you selling your job?" Su Mo was stunned and explained, "Second sister-in-law, this government job cannot be sold." "Ah, so you went to Guangzhou and lost your job?" Su Mo nodded. Lu Hohot had a painful look on her face. She had heard that her third brother's wife's job paid more than her husband's every month. It was such a pity that it was gone just like that. At night, Lu Yuji was so excited that she couldn't sleep at all and tossed and turned on the Kong. If her husband can get a promotion to work at a credit union in the future, her family will become a dual-income family and the children will have more options for marriage. Moreover, her job can be passed on to Guiqiang when he becomes stronger. If he fails to get another job, she can pass it on to Guiqiang. This is a matter of a lifetime. The 400 yuan is really worth it. Only my sister-in-law can enjoy such benefits. When you go to withdraw money tomorrow, take out 10 yuan more and give it to Xiaolan. Just say that I'm giving it to her for pocket money. Yangcheng is a big city with many places to spend money. Lu Yuji patted Lu Xingjuan on the shoulder. Lu Xingjuan was about to fall asleep, but Lu Yuji woke him up with a slap. He said helplessly, "Okay, I get it. Go to sleep." Looking at his wife, who was almost cocky, Lu Xingjuan felt a little uncomfortable. He had finally been able to earn a salary, but his wife's salary suddenly surpassed his. It's really not easy to improve the family status. I need to work harder in the future. The next day, Lu Xiaolan took Lu Yuji to the supply and marketing cooperative and told the director that she wanted to transfer the job to Lu Yuji. Then, he took care of Lu Yuji for another 2 days. After she became familiar with the situation, they completed the formalities and Lu Xiaolan stayed at home instead of going to work. It just so happened that this period of time was the time when the snow was melting. Last year, the snow was heavy, and in order to prevent floods, all the commune cadres had to go to the countryside to urge each team to do the corresponding flood drainage work. So Yang Jingming went to the countryside these days. When he came back, he found that Lu Xiaolan had transferred her job, and he was furious. That woman was so cruel. She even gave up her job just to avoid seeing him. Yang Jingming immediately rode his bike to Lujia village. As soon as he arrived at the gate of Lu's house, he saw Li Yue beating two ants out with a broom. He was so scared that he stopped immediately. He hesitated outside for a while and finally turned the bike around and left. In the afternoon, the news that Lu Xiaolan sold her job to her sister-in-law spread throughout the brigade. Those who had originally gone to Lu Xiaolan for a job instantly gave up the idea. The job is gone and I still have to do farm work. Who would want to marry a divorced woman? Although my third brother is a high-ranking official, I heard that he was transferred to a place as far away as Yangcheng. It's so far away from home, so how can he take care of it? In this way, the Lu family suddenly became quiet. Su Mo has been very busy recently. She has to do her normal work and write a summary of the breeding experiments she did last winter. She also wrote down the good methods she saw in the book in the form of suggestions, hoping that the people in the County Agricultural Research Institute can continue to try in this direction. Although she will no longer work in this field in the future, she can write anonymous letters to the bigwigs in this field to see if the country's food problem can be improved as soon as possible. Of the majority of scientific workers, the Academy of Sciences notified the resumption of publication of Science Bulletin on February 17th. By then, Su Mo will be able to learn about the current level of agricultural research from publications. After finishing the task at hand, Su Mo started to deal with the matter of applying for rewards for Chao Yatu. Discussing with Fu Ming, they finally decided to commend him for providing clues to assist the police in solving the case. As for what clues were provided, they would not be announced. Su Mo also told Chao Yata not to tell anyone about her discovery of those people. The rewards that Su Mo applied for were all long-term. First, the commune paid for the renovation of Chao Yata's old house. Second, Chao Yata could go to the commune primary school for free. Third, the commune gave Chao Yatu an additional 100 kilograms of grain every year for 5 consecutive years. Combined with the rations the team already had, at least this girl wouldn't go hungry. As for the money, Su Mo did not apply for it, fearing that if a child took the money, it would cause unnecessary trouble. Hearing that Su Mo was leaving, Chao Yatu was reluctant to let her go. She looked at her with tears in her eyes. "Aunt, will you come back in the future?" There are very few people in this place who are kind to her. Apart from her brother, there are only her aunt and Uncle Gu. "Yes, this is also my aunt's home. When I have a vacation, I will come back to see you."
Su Mo comforted her.
"Annie has applied for free schooling for you. In September, remember to go to the commune primary school. Although it's a little far, no one there will know you. You must study hard, understand? When my aunt comes back, she will test you on your studies. If you have any questions, come and ask Uncle Gu and the others." Chao girl nodded vigorously. She would not let her aunt down. After leaving the cowshed, Su Mo found Captain Li again and told him that Chao Yata had made a contribution and asked Captain Li to help look after her. In September, he arranged for someone to take her to report to the commune primary school. Li was not a bad person to begin with. He immediately nodded and agreed, saying that he would deliver it personally when the time came. End of March, news came from the army saying that the formalities had been completed and Su Mo could set off at any time. Also asked Su Mo to buy a ticket to Guangzhou and then send a telegram to the army so that they could arrange someone to pick her up at the train station. After Lu Xiaolan confirmed that she would go together, Su Mo called the commander again and asked him to add one more person, so Lu Xiaolan's side was also arranged. Su Mo's recruitment exam is on April 25th, and Su Mo plans to leave on the 3rd. It's not a good idea to rush with the child. Su Mo estimates that she will be on the road for 11 or 12 days, and she will need some adaptation when she gets there. Give yourself more time, so you don't have to rush. March 31st was a Saturday, Su Mo's last day at work, so Li Hongjun and Fu Ming organized a simple farewell party for Su Mo. Although she has only worked here for 1 year and 3 months, the relationship between colleagues is generally pleasant, and Sumo is a little reluctant to leave. Before leaving, Fuming said to Suemo, "Comrade Suemo, I wish you a bright future. Please come back often when you have time." He always felt that this woman would not be trapped in this small place, and now she has indeed flown to a bigger stage. "Thank you, you too." Suemo smiled. Fu Ming is Uncle Gung's confidant. If he follows Uncle Gung in the future, his future will not be bad. After returning home, Suemo started packing her things. Ever since she learned that Suemo was going to leave on the 3rd, Li Wei treated the 2 little ones very well, taking care of them day and night. These days, the 2 little ones have been staying at the Lu family's place. It is not convenient to carry too many things with a child, so Suemo plans to send everything except what is needed for the trip. Lu Xiaolan followed, and it was not easy for her to put the things in the space. Anyway, there were not many things, so she didn't mind the postage. The quilt with her, otherwise she would have nothing to cover herself with when she came back. Yangcheng was only cold for a few days, so she didn't need such a thick blanket. Besides, it would be summer in Yangcheng if she went there, so a thin blanket would be enough. Winter is approaching. I will send money back and ask my family to go to the commune to make 2 thin quilts and send them over. Suemo packed her own and her children's clothes and shoes and put those needed for the journey into a small suitcase, the rest into a large suitcase, and the rest was wrapped in a cloth bag. Take it together with the big suitcase to the post office to send it. There were some odds and ends left, so Suemo collected some of them into her space and packed the rest up and sent them over. All the food will be given to Lu Boming, and he can use it as he pleases. But there was a problem. These sewing machines and bicycles were useful items. It would be a waste to just leave them here. She really didn't want to buy new ones when she arrived in Guangzhou. But I don't know if it's safe to send it by mail. Nowadays, it's not uncommon for things to be lost by mail. At that time, it was not like the later times, where you would be insured, and if your items were lost, the post office would only pay a symbolic amount of compensation. The next day, Suemo and Lu Xiaolan took the things to the post office to mail them. Suemo also asked the staff at the post office if they could mail the bicycle and sewing machine. This staff member also saw the first time that someone wanted to send these things, and he did not dare to guarantee their safety. After all, human hearts are unpredictable. Sumo's head is very bald. Is she really going to stay here to cool off? Selling them is not an option either. After all, these things were the betrothal gifts that Lu Chongjing bought when they got married. After sending the package, Suemo called Su Tingqian and Su Tingda again, telling them that she would leave on the 3rd and the approximate time she would arrive in Guangzhou. When I came out of the post office, I happened to run into Tao Peixing. After asking Suemo that she would be leaving on the 3rd, Tao Peixing said that he would take Suemo and the others to the city to catch a bus that day. Learned that Sumo wanted to mail a bicycle and a sewing machine, he said, "I happen to have a relative who works in the railway department. With his connections, we can use the railway to transport the goods to Guangzhou. But this requires you to go to the train station to pick up the things yourself. Do you think it's possible?" Okay. Thank you so much, Captain Tao.
Sumonadit vigorously.
As long as it could be solved, she could find someone to move the things back then. In the evening, Suemo went to the Lu family and explained the household items to several elders. After all, she was afraid that she would not be able to come back for 2 or 3 years, and the house had to be looked after by the elders. Li Wei kept wiping away tears when she heard this. Seeing Li Wei like that, Suemo felt very uncomfortable and tears welled up in her eyes. After explaining, Suemo said to Lu Boming, "Master, I have something to tell you alone." Lu Boming nodded, and the grandfather and grandson went to Lu Boming's room. After entering the room, Suemo took out a velvet-wrapped object from the bag and handed it to Lu Boming. "Master, keep this. This thing was discovered by Changzheng when the road was being built in the mining area. Keep it for yourself. If you feel unwell, eat it. Changzheng and I both hope that you can live a long life and enjoy a good life in the future." This wild ginseng was specially prepared by Suemo for Lu Boming. It took 2 months to grow, and it was a well-deserved century-old ginseng. She had already made an excuse with Lu Chongjing. When Lu Boming opened it, he was shocked to see that it was another wild ginseng. Xiao Mo, this. Lu Boming wrapped the things and handed them back to Su Mo. I am old now, and I am very lucky to live a few more years. Please don't waste good things. This thing is hard to come by, take it to Yangcheng. The third brother is back on the front line now, so he's bound to be in danger. With this thing, I'll feel more at ease. And your parents must have suffered a lot, so take it with you so I can cut some for them to replenish their bodies. Su Mo waved her hand. Master, keep it. I have a smaller one. That one is enough for us. You are our treasure. As long as you are here, our family will be stable, so please don't be reluctant to let you go. To us, you are more important than 10 or 8 wild ginsengs like this. When Lu Boming heard Su Mo say this, he was deeply touched and did not push the wild ginseng back. Okay, since you value me so much, I will help you guard the rear, and you can go ahead and make your way. This couple is very lucky. It is difficult for others to find 1 wild ginseng, but they were able to find 3. It means that God is looking favorably upon them. I'm afraid that their Lu family is going to produce a remarkable figure. How the Lu family will develop in the future. Because Lu Xiaolan was about to leave, she stayed at Lu's house and slept with Li Wei. After Su Mo went back, she fell asleep. At around 1 in the middle of the night, Su Mo secretly got up, went up the mountain alone, and began to absorb and output supernatural powers in a cycle until the supernatural powers reached the 3rd level. On the 2nd, Su Mo went to withdraw all the money she had deposited in the credit union, then went to buy some meat and took it to Lu's house to cook. The whole family had a meal together, and everyone was reluctant to leave. In the afternoon, Su Mo went to the educated youth site again and said goodbye to Ma Xiaowan and Jiang Yu. Ma Xiaowan had red eyes and asked Su Mo to remember to write to her when she arrived in Yangcheng. Su Mo nodded in agreement. Ma Xiaowan is the first friend she made here. Before, because of her parents, she didn't dare to interact too closely with everyone. Now that her parents have returned to the city, she is no longer afraid. At night, Su Mo tossed and turned and couldn't sleep. This was her first stop after she came here, and it could be said to be her hometown. She has lived in this house for a year and a half, and it is full of traces of her life. She feels reluctant to leave. Su Mo got up again and walked around the room, took a look, then turned off the lights and went to bed. On the 3rd, Tao Peisheng arrived early in the morning. The train from Shuangshan City to Harbin was at 10:30 in the morning, so they had to leave early. Li Wei also got up early in the morning and made some pancakes for them to eat on the road, and also cooked a lot of eggs for them to eat on the road. Lu Xingjuan and Lu Weigua helped Su Mo move her things into the car, and the whole family escorted her to the brigade headquarters. Lele didn't understand what separation meant yet. He thought that he was going out to play and was very happy. When asked to say goodbye to everyone, he immediately waved his little hand and said to everyone, "Come back and bring some food." He meant that when he comes back, they will bring some delicious food to everyone. Li Wei burst into tears again. She quickly hugged Lele and said, "Okay, I'll wait for you to come back and bring me some delicious food." Then he said to Su Mo, "Xiao Mo, write letters often." Su Mo nodded. Seeing Li Wei like that, tears also came to her eyes. But it was getting late, and she didn't dare to drive fast, so she hugged Lele, said take care to everyone, and turned around to get in the car. Lu Xiaolan's eyes were also red. After saying goodbye to her family, she also got into the car holding and Lu Boming walked over and said to Su Mo, "Xiao Mo, you and Lao Sen can rest assured and live your lives well. I will watch over you." Then he said to Tao Peisheng, "Captain Tao, please drive." Tao Peisheng waved to everyone and drove away. Su Mo leaned her head back and saw the whole family standing at the entrance of the brigade. Li Wei was wiping her eyes and waving. Su Mo was also in tears. After they were settled, if the old man wanted, he could come to Guangzhou to spend the winter. When they arrived at the county town, Tao Peisheng first went to the county government to pick up Geng Chongqing. Su Mo didn't expect that Geng Chongqing, who was so busy, would come to see them off. Gung Chongqing got on the bus. He handed Su Mo a certificate with a county committee seal. Keep this. It will help you get a good seat when you change buses and buy tickets. Okay. Thank you, Uncle Gung. Not everyone can buy a sleeper ticket. You need to have a certain status. When they arrived at the train station, Gung Chongqing helped buy tickets, while Tao Peisheng helped carry things. They both bought platform tickets, and when the train arrived, they were escorted to the train. Gung Chongqing kept watching on the platform until the train was out of sight. Gung Chongqing sighed. The little girl came and left again. He didn't know how many years it would take before he would see her again. Tao Peisheng was also a little surprised. Secretary Gung was tough and decisive in his work, but he didn't expect that he valued family ties so much. Around 8 o'clock in the evening, the train arrived in Harbin. Su Mo and Lu Xiaolan each held a child and carried a piece of luggage. After getting off the bus, Su Mo went to buy a train ticket for tomorrow. Seeing that there were tickets going to Jinling, Su Mo bought the ticket directly to Jinling to avoid having to change tickets again and again. Because Su Mo had a military dependence certificate stamped by the county party committee, the train station staff saw it and sold a hard sleeper ticket to her. Train tickets of 1979. The hard sleeper ticket from Harbin to Jinling is 21.8 yuan per ticket. The two children are only a few months old, so they don't need to buy tickets. Just buy tickets for the two adults. After buying the tickets, the two took their children to a guest house near the train station and booked a room to rest. For an ordinary room in the guest house is 1 yuan per night. Guest house accommodation receipt. Seeing that it was getting dark and Su Mo hadn't returned home yet, Lele kept saying to Su Mo, "Mom, come back. Mom, come back." Su Mo comforted him, "Lulu, let's go find Dad and come back later." Lele was unhappy, so he climbed down from the bed and was about to walk out, still mumbling, "Mom, I want milk, come back." "Lulu, let's go find Dad first, and then find Grandma later." Su Mo quickly carried the little guy back. The little guy then realized something was wrong and started crying, "No, I want milk, come back. Mom, come back." Lu Xiaolan was also sad, so she took Lele and comforted him. "You little guy, your grandma's love for you is not in vain." Lele was excited on the train all day today. After crying for a while, he got tired and fell asleep. Su Mo said to Lu Xiaolan, "Xiaolan, you look after the child. I'm going to go out and buy some food." For the convenience of passengers, there is a state-owned restaurant near the train station that is open until 10 o'clock in the evening. When Su Mo rushed over, they were almost closing. The chef was kind-hearted. When he heard Su Mo said she had two children under 1 year old, he made an exception and cooked 2 bowls of noodles for her. However, the meat was gone. Instead of a fried egg, the chef gave her an extra one. A young woman to go to such a far place with 2 children. The soldiers are defending the country at the front, and they can help as much as they can. After expressing her thanks, Su Mo packed the 2 bowls of noodles into a lunchbox. After returning home, Su Mo and Lu Xiaolan shared a bowl and put the other bowl aside for the 2 children to warm up with hot water before giving it to them. Both children have 8 teeth now, and they like to eat normal food and don't like to drink milk powder anymore. Lele is okay. He still drinks once or twice a day, and hardly drinks it. As Su Mo was eating, she discovered that the chef had given her an extra fried egg and buried it in the noodles. She couldn't help but smile. There are still many good people in this world. Around 12 o'clock, Lele woke up hungry. The 2 of them warmed up the noodles and fed them to the 2 children. In the morning, Su Mo still asked Lu Xiaolan to look after the children while she went to the state-owned restaurant and bought 10 large meat buns for breakfast. She took the rest on the train. It's still cold in the north, so it won't go bad that easily. She came back. Su Mo secretly took a few apples and pears from the space where no one was paying attention, put them in a cloth bag, and carried them back to the guest house. Lu Xiaolan was surprised to see fruit. "Third sister-in-law, where did you buy this?" "It was on the roadside. I came back from shopping and someone asked me if I wanted some. I saw that they looked good, so I bought a few to eat on the train." There were indeed quite a few middlemen carrying baskets or backpacks near the train station, and some of them were selling apples, but they didn't look very good. Sue Mo had her own fruit, so she naturally wouldn't buy any. Won't they get caught like this?
Sue Mo waved her hand.
Maybe sometimes. There are so many of them in big cities. You can't catch them all. I have no job, but I have to make a living, so I have to find a way. After breakfast, Sue Mo went to get some hot water and wiped the bodies of the two children. After taking care of the children, Sue Mo and Lu Xiaolan each got a basin of water and wiped themselves. It takes 6 days and 5 nights to get from Harbin to Jinling, during which time you're on the train. Children can get some hot water on the train to wipe themselves, but adults can only endure it. The train left at 11 a.m. After packing, Sue Mo checked out and went to the train station to wait for the train. Fortunately, the bus was not delayed, and the two of them got on the bus smoothly with their child. When Sue Mo bought the ticket, she told the ticket seller that she was bringing 2 children, so she bought a lower berth. We were lucky enough that the upper bunk in our room was occupied by 2 PLA comrades who were returning home to visit their families. Lu Xiaolan breathed a sigh of relief. Now that she was in the same room with the PLA comrades, at least she didn't have to worry about safety. It was also Lu Xiaolan's first time to go far away, and she was actually panicking. The farthest place she had been before was when she and Yang Jingming got married, and they went to Shuangshan City to buy things together. She was on the train yesterday, but she didn't dare close her eyes for a moment, for fear that her things would be stolen and her 2 children would be taken away. She also thought that she and Sue Mo would take turns sleeping these days, so one of them had to be awake to look after the child and things. Lu Xiaolan was also quite eloquent, and she soon became friendly with the 2 PLA comrades. When they learned that they were military dependents and were going to Yangcheng with their children to accompany the army, they immediately started calling them sister-in-law and sister. Are very active in helping them with work, such as fetching hot water, buying meals, and taking care of children. It was the first time for both children to ride on a sleeper berth, and they were very excited. Lele was even more excited, looking around here and there. Unfortunately, it didn't work from the next day. After all, after staying in a small place for too long and the noise was so loud, Lele couldn't sit still and kept asking to walk around. Sue Mo had no choice but to take him for a stroll in the car. Otherwise, the young man has a good voice, and once he starts howling, it will disturb others. It wasn't an who surprised Sue Mo. She thought that based on her temper, she would be very impatient, but she didn't expect that she was so patient. She either lay down to rest or sat looking at the scenery outside the window. She was surprisingly very well behaved. Every time the train stopped, Sue Mo and Lu Xiaolan would take turns taking the children off the train for a walk and some fresh air. Finally, after a few days, the train arrived at Jinling Station at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on the 10th. After getting off the train, Sue Mo hurried out of the station and went to a nearby guest house to get a room. Because only suites have bathrooms, she booked a suite, which cost 2 yuan a night. Sue Mo hurried to fetch water and gave the 2 children a bath. After washing the children, she then took a bath for the adults. Third sister-in-law, I don't think I'll ever want to take the train again. I still have this ringing sound in my ears. Lu Xiaolan complained. She had heard her colleagues talk about how comfortable the sleeper berths were, but she thought they were exaggerating them to the extreme, and it was obvious that they were suffering. Sue Mo waved her hands. I don't want to sit any longer. Let's rest here for 2 days before going to Guangzhou. It was also the first time for her to be on the train for such a long time. It was really painful. The 2 PLA comrades were there. They were hygienic and willing to help them. Unfortunately, the PLA comrades got off the bus when it stopped in Beijing. The person who came up later was really hard to describe. He was unhygienic, loud, and liked to take advantage. In short, Sue Mo and Lu Xiaolan not only had to take care of the children, but also had to be on guard against those 2 people. It was really tiring. When Lele heard the 2 of them say this, he quickly waved his hand and said, No, Lele doesn't want to take the car. Lu Xiaolan was instantly amused. Look at how much the child has been forced to speak fluently. This train ride will probably become a brief nightmare in Lele's life. Seeing that it was time for dinner, Sue Mo locked the door and went out with 1 adult and 2 children. In order to show them the world, Su Mo asked the waiter at the guest house and took a bus to the nearest state-owned restaurant for dinner. The train, so she didn't skimp on food. She ordered a plate of salted duck, a plate of squirrel fish, a bowl of duck blood and vermicelli soup, 2 baskets of steamed dumplings, a stir-fried vegetable, and 2 bowls of rice. Third sister-in-law, don't order so much, otherwise we won't be able to finish it. Seeing Su Mo ordering, Lu Xiaolan hurriedly stopped her. Su Mo waved her hands and said with a smile, I can finish it. The food portions in the south are small, but these are enough for 2 large meals and 2 snacks. While waiting for the food to be served, Lu Xiaolan secretly looked around the big hotel. This one extra word makes the difference. In their state-owned restaurant, the dishes are fixed every day. It's not like here where customers can order according to the menu. The first thing served was the steamed buns. Lu Xiaolan was shocked when she saw them. This is a bun? It looks like it's not even as big as our dumplings.
Sumo smiled secretly.
The differences between the north and the south would shock Lu Xiaolan more in the future. This is the specialty here. Try it quickly, but be careful. The soup inside is very hot. Su Mo asked Lu Xiaolan to eat quickly, and she picked up 2 and put them in the bowl, skimmed the soup first, let it cool down, and then fed them to the 2 little ones. Lu Xiaolan tried one, and it was really delicious. The skin was very thin, and the soup and meat filling inside were delicious, but not too filling. She felt that she could eat 7 or 8 baskets by herself. Delicious. Lu Xiaolan praised. Lele has recently fallen in love with mimicking others. When he saw his aunt say something was delicious, he also said delicious. Su Mo asked with a smile, where is the delicious food? It's delicious and sweet. Lele said. Su Mo also picked up one and tasted it. It turned out that the soup inside was a bit sweet, but to be more precise, it should be called fresh. Lulu, this taste is fresh, not sweet. Su Mo taught her son. Lele nodded and said, yeah, it's delicious.
Mom, eat it.
Then he opened his mouth wide, waiting to be fed. After a while, the other dishes were served. Lu Xiaolan looked at the dishes and felt that it was not easy for the chefs of the state-owned restaurants in the south. The work was much more trivial than theirs. However, the portions were not big, probably only a little more than half of theirs. The 2 adults and 2 children had a delicious meal, but the 2 children mainly ate soup dumplings and vermicelli, and only had a little of the other dishes to taste. After the meal, we paid the bill, which totaled 5 yuan. Lu Xiaolan silently estimated and felt that the price was a bit expensive compared to that in Qingxi County. Third sister-in-law, are things in the south more expensive than in the north?
Zu Montag was stund.
It seems that there is not. The prices seem to be about the same. I feel that the meal just now was more expensive than ours, and the portion was smaller. Oh, that's it. It seems that the food in big restaurants is more expensive than that in state-owned restaurants, the service is better, and the chefs are not of the same level. Su Mo remembered reading a novel about the period before, in which the heroine was a chef who worked in a state-owned restaurant. It was introduced in the novel that in this era, a chef of junior or intermediate level would be enough for a state-owned restaurant, but for a large restaurant, a chef of senior level or above would be required. Su Mo wasn't sure if it was the same here, but judging from the food she had just eaten, the chef's cooking skills were indeed very good. That night, the few of them had a rare good night's sleep. The next day, Su Mo asked Lu Xiaolan to look after the child while she went to buy a train ticket for the 8 a.m. train on the 12th and was expected to arrive in Yangqing in the evening of the 14th. After the purchase, Su Mo went to the post office to send a telegram to the army, and then called Su Tingqian and Lu Qinggan to tell them that she had arrived in Jinling and gave them a general account of the situation on the road. It was a rare opportunity to come to Jinling, so Su Mo took Lu Xiaolan and the 2 little ones for a walk while there was still time. Because they had to get up early the next day, they went to bed early at night. The next day, as soon as we arrived at the train station, Lele pouted and said, "Mom, I don't want to take the train. I don't want to take the train." Su Mo had no choice but to comfort him. This is the last time. You won't sit here again after this one. Let's go to Yangqing and find Dad there, okay? Su Mo took out a photo of Lu Chongjing from her bag and showed it to Lele. When Lu Chongjing left, the children were less than 6 months old. Su Mo was afraid that Lele would forget Lu Chongjing, so she often showed Lele his photos and told him that this was his dad. Lele was probably really afraid of riding in a car and was unwilling to do so. "No, I don't want to look for it. I don't want to ride in the car." Then he twisted himself off Su Mo and walked out with a shaky hand. Being caught by Su Mo, she started crying, and no matter how Su Mo comforted her, it was useless. Many people in the waiting room looked at her strangely, probably wondering if Su Mo was a human trafficker. Ainin gently snorted, "Don't cry." The sound was not loud, but when Lele heard it, he instantly fell silent, sobbing and not daring to cry out loud. Su Mo looked at it in surprise. Could this be the legendary blood suppression? She tried to coax him for a long time, but it was useless. The problem was solved with just one sentence. After a while, a staff member came with a loudspeaker, shouting for everyone to get on the bus. Su Mo and Lu Xiaolan hurriedly picked up their children and carried their luggage to get on the bus. I still bought a sleeper ticket, which cost 13.9 yuan each. This train is newer and the hard sleeper has a middle berth, which means it is a small compartment that can accommodate 6 people. Su Mo and Lu Xiaolan both felt bald at the same time. If they met someone like the last time again, it would be troublesome. After the 2 men settled their luggage and children, other passengers came over, 2 men and 2 women, all very young, and the 4 of them were together. From listening to their conversation, it seemed that they were workers, peasants and soldiers, college students who were about to graduate and were going to Guangzhou for exchange and study. After all, they are college students with higher quality. They are not like the previous 2 people. They just ignored Su Mo and the others. The 4 of them chatted among themselves. Su Mo thought it was a good idea as long as everyone didn't disturb each other. Seeing that Lele looked unhappy, Su Mo took out the car recognition game that Lele liked to play and started interacting with him. Soon Lele started to have fun because he could speak more words now, and he didn't just point but would shout out the answers from time to time. A male classmate also noticed Lele's situation and asked Su Mo, "Comrade, how old is your child?" Su Mo smiled, "Almost 10 months. When others heard this, they were a little surprised. "This child, who is less than 1 year old, is so smart. Comrade, you are really good at teaching this child. Can you share your educational methods with me? I will try to teach my nephew." A female classmate was very interested. Her brother's son is also 10 months old. Not only does he not understand these things, he can't even speak. There's no real method. When he starts to recognize things, just draw some patterns for him to recognize. Su Mo showed them the small cards she had drawn. There was nothing wrong with this. These were all commonly used Enlightenment methods in later generations. With this as a bridge, everyone got along well, and the trip was relatively smooth, not as difficult as last time. It was mainly because of Lele, this little rascal, who coaxed the 2 female classmates into giving him almost all the snacks they brought. Su Mo's mouth twitched as she watched. He would become when he grew up. However, Lele didn't eat the food himself, but gave it to Su Mo and Lu Xiaolan, saying, "Mom, eat it, Auntie, eat it." The college students laughed out loud. "Comrade, your child will be extraordinary in the future. He is smart and filial." With someone to play with, Lele didn't make any noise, and time passed by. Surprisingly, the train was not late and arrived at Yangqing railway station at around 4 p.m. On the 14th. As soon as she got off the car, Lu Xiaolan looked at the wet floor and the foggy sky, feeling a little surprised. "Why is it so foggy?" Su Mo explained, "It should be back to the south."
What?
Lu Xiaolan was puzzled. It was the first time she heard of such a thing. The return of the south wind is a climate phenomenon unique to the south. It happens because the temperature is going to rise. Lu Xiaolan seemed to understand, but not quite. Su Mo led her people out of the station. The telegram she sent to the troops arrived in the evening, and she didn't know whether the people sent by the troops to pick them up had arrived. When she got out of the station, Su Mo discovered that not only the people sent by the army were there, but also Su Yichen and his parents were there. Su Mo waved her hands happily. "Mom, Dad, Big Brother, Why are you here too? Sui Chen and the soldier who came to pick them up hurried forward to help Su Mo and Lu Xiaolan carry their luggage, while Su Tingqian and his wife each took a child and called them their darlings. I just happened to come here for something, and my uncle told me that you were arriving today, so I came to pick you up.
Shodichenik's plan.
Mom and Dad, let me introduce you. This is Xiaolan. She's here to help me take care of the kids. Xiaolan, these are my parents. Wilson Su had met them in Lujia village before, so there was no need to introduce them. The three of them quickly greeted each other. Lele has been looking for his father in the crowd since he came out, but he still hasn't found the father his mother showed him, so he said, Mom, there's no dad. Sumo didn't expect Lele to still be hung up on this, so she said with a smile, Dad went to work and hasn't come back yet. Come, and in Lulu, this is Grandpa, Grandma, and Uncle. Lele tilted his little head, looked around for a while, and then obediently followed and called people, which made Su Tingqian and Mo Yurong very happy, and they kept calling him Little Darling. Momo, why did Lele say this so well? Mo Yurong asked. This child is really smart. I didn't speak that well before, but I was holding it in on the train, and my language ability has improved by leaps and bounds. Su Mo explained, and then said to Anin, call someone. Anin also shouted, Oh, Little Darling, Anin speaks so nicely now. Mo Yurong said happily. In the future, she will be able to enjoy the company of her grandchildren. She saw that her granddaughter was a more introverted person and didn't like to talk much, while her grandson should be an extrovert and more talkative. When they arrived at the parking lot, the soldier who came to pick them up drove a car, and Sui Chen also drove one. Finally, Su Mo and Lu Xiaolan took the little soldier's car, while Su Tingqian and his wife took the two little ones in Sui Chen's car, and they went to the military family compound together. The military family compound is quite far from the train station, and it takes more than an hour to drive there. Because Lu Chongzheng has not yet been assigned to a specific division and is still under the headquarters, the family compound assigned to him is in the urban area. If Sumo passes the exam for a position at the Foreign Trade Center, it will be quite convenient for her to go to work. She can take the bus or ride a bicycle, and it will take 40 to 50 minutes to get there. This family compound is used to house the families of officers working in the headquarters. It is not very big, but the environment is quite good. There are cement roads inside, which looks quite neat. There is also a guard post at the door, so there is no need to worry about safety. As soon as you enter, you see several rows of 4-story buildings. Seeing Su Mo and the others looking towards the building, the soldier in charge of picking them up said, Sister-in-law, Commander Lu said he wanted a bungalow. Your house is in the back. After going around those rows of buildings, there are rows of houses with yards behind, including single-story bungalows and 2-story small buildings. The young soldier drove the car to the small courtyard on the far left of the 3rd row of bungalows and stopped. This is it, sister-in-law. After saying that, he turned off the engine, got out of the car, and went to help Su Mo and the others move their things. Thank you for your hard work, comrade. Su Mo and Lu Xiaolan also hurried out of the car. Su Mo got out of the car and took a quick look. This bungalow looked a little older than the building, and it should have been built before. It was very military style, with rows of 5 rooms in a row, arranged very neatly. The yard was also surrounded by a wall and equipped with 2 low wooden doors. Seeing the young soldier carrying his luggage in both hands, Su Mo quickly pushed the wooden door open and let the young soldier in. The yard is not big, only about 1 mu, and it has been tidied up and is quite clean. Su Mo also took the time to look around and quickly took the key that the young soldier had just given her in the car, opened the door, and asked someone to move the things in first. Sister-in-law, please take a look first. If you need anything else, please go to the guards and tell them. We will make arrangements as appropriate. Okay. Thank you for your hard work. Serve the people. Sister-in-law, it's nothing, I'll leave first. Okay, take care. Su Mo walked the person out of the yard. After the young soldier left, Su Yichen's car arrived. Because he was a visitor, he had to register his information. If he was not also an officer, he could not come in, and Su Mo had to go out to pick him up. The 3 of them got out of the car and looked around. Seeing that the environment was okay, Su Tingqian nodded slightly. It was better than the staff building of his school. It had its own door and yard, so it was more comfortable to live in. Everyone entered the house. They started looking at the house together. The house is a typical southern bungalow, with a living room at the entrance, a kitchen on the left, and a bathroom and toilet on the right. From the living room, there are 3 bedrooms and a small utility room. The living room is furnished with wooden chairs and a tea table. The kitchen is furnished with a coal stove and cupboards, and each of the 3 rooms is furnished with a bed about 1.5 meters long and a double-door wardrobe. The basic big items are provided, but you have to prepare the small items yourself. Su Mo was quite satisfied with the house. It was very clean, and the things were quite complete. She estimated that the package should arrive in the next 2 days. She would buy whatever was missing when she saw it. This army is great. They even helped clean the house. Lu Xiaolan sighed as she looked at the wet walls and floor. It would have been better if I had washed it a few days in advance. This person came here, and it was still wet. Mo Yurong laughed. Xiaolan, this is the return of the south wind, and the tide has returned. You must not open the windows these days, otherwise it will be even more humid.
Ah?
Seeing Lu Xiaolan's confused look, Mo Yurong smiled again. Don't worry, I heard from the locals that this situation will be cured in 10 days or half a month at most. It's been a week, and it will probably be cured in another 2 days. Momo, you don't have any supplies now. Why don't you stay with your parents for the next 2 days and come back when you have everything you need? Su Tingqian asked. Okay.
Shumonari.
She had to go to her parents' place first to get familiar with the place. Su Mo and Lu Xiaolan packed their clothes, locked the door, and prepared to leave. Seeing that he was leaving again, Lele asked hurriedly, Where are you going now? Mo Yurong smiled. You little rascal. Why don't you go to your grandparents' house? Take the bus again? Yes, we need to take a car. Does Lele like taking a car? Hearing this, Lele shook his head like a rattle and waved his hands. No, Lele doesn't want to ride in the car. Mom, you're lying. You're lying. Mo Yurong didn't expect her grandson to react so strongly and looked at Su Mo with some surprise. Mom didn't lie. We didn't take a big car. We took a small car driven by my uncle. The one you just took. Su Mo quickly pointed at the car outside. Only then did Lele stop. What's going on? Sui Chen asked. He's tired of riding the train. When we came from Jinling, I told him this was the last time he would ride it. Mom just said we were going to take a car, so he thought we were going to take the train again. The little guy has a good memory. Sui Chen was also happy and took Lele from Mo Yurong's arms. Come on, Uncle will teach you how to drive, okay? His wife is also pregnant, and he hopes the child can be as smart as her. Leaving, Su Mo said something to the guard again, saying that she was going to stay with her parents for 1 night and would come back tomorrow. For dinner, the group of people had dinner at a state-owned restaurant. Su Chen paid the bill, saying that he was welcoming Su Mo and the others. After dinner, they returned to Su Tingqian and their family's residence. We lived in the faculty building, which was inside the campus. The environment was better than outside, but not much better. It was an old tube-shaped building with a shared kitchen, bathroom, and toilet. So the couple ate in the cafeteria most of the time and rarely cooked. The house is on the 3rd floor, with 2 bedrooms and a living room. It's not particularly big, but the couple have good taste and have made it very cozy. Sui Chen sat for a while and then left. He had a meeting tomorrow and had to go back to prepare. After Sui Chen left, Mo Yurong got up and went to the kitchen to boil water for the children to bathe, and Su Mo followed her. Su Mo looked at the environment and frowned. She didn't expect it to be such a house. According to Su Tingqian's status, he should be able to get a better house. Can't you apply for a better house? Su Mo asked in a low voice. Mo Yurong shook her head. Housing is tight at school right now, and there's no better place available for the time being, so we'll just live like this for now. Xioma, it's okay, it's already good enough. Compared to the cowshed, this environment is a world of difference. When she arrived at the kitchen, Mo Yurong frowned when she saw that there was less firewood in her basket, but since Su Mo was there, she didn't say anything to avoid worrying her daughter. The couple doesn't cook, they just boil water for bathing, so they don't burn coal, they burn firewood. After the water heated up, several people gave the two little ones a bath first, and then the adults took a bath. She went to bed at night. Sue and Mo discovered that the sound insulation of this house was very poor. She could hear clearly what was happening next door and upstairs and downstairs. Sue and Mo thought that this was not a solution. After she settled down, she would have to see if there were any houses for sale or rent nearby and find a place for her parents to live. She saw Mo Yurong frowning at the firewood basket just now, and she probably thought someone had taken advantage of it and used it. Unless you catch someone on the spot, you don't even have any evidence, which is really annoying. Either you lock up the firewood or carry it back home and use it one by one. They even try to take advantage of the price of 1 or 2 sticks of firewood, which shows the quality of these neighbors. The 15th happened to be Sunday, and Su Tingqian was on vacation. Mo Yurong also switched shifts, intending to accompany Su and Mo back home to help her settle down. There was a tram stop near the school. Su Tingqian had asked before, and it could take him to the staff quarters, so they prepared to go there to take the tram. Trolleybus in Guangzhou in the 1970s. After waiting for about 10 minutes, the tram arrived and several people lined up to get on the bus. The conductor stopped in front and collected money and sold tickets one by one. Taking the tram today, and Su Mo and her friends soon arrived. "Where are you going?" asked the conductor. "Family compound, for people." Su Mo pointed at the other 3 people behind her. The conductor nodded and gave 4 tickets for 7 cents each, 2 cents and 8 cents. "Find a seat yourself."
Thank you.
Su Mo gave the money and took the ticket. She had seen a tram ticket of this period, and she was a little curious. She had lived in Guangzhou for a period of time when she was a child, but that was the era of smartphones, and everyone used their phones to get on and off the bus, and the Guangzhou Express was almost outdated. Special period Yangqing tram tickets. The tram ticket looks similar to the train ticket, but the color is brighter and it is longer. It is divided into 2 copies, one with the price printed on it, and the other with the words "collection" upon getting off the train printed on it, as well as a few Arabic numerals. Su Mo has no idea what they mean. After everyone sat down, Su Mo distributed the tickets to the adults. Mo Yurong was holding Lele, and seeing that he wanted to watch it, she gave him the ticket. Lele pointed at the Arabic numerals above and started reading 1, 2, 3. Su Tingqian and Mo Yurong were both shocked. Mo Yurong even grabbed Sumo's hand and said, "Nan Nan, Nan Nan, this child can recognize words." Su Mo explained with a smile, "They do recognize a few numbers. I taught them." Then she told me about how she drew cards to teach her children to recognize numbers. Su Tingqian smiled and said, "So that's how it is. I thought this child was gifted. But he is also very smart. This child, who is less than 1 year old, can recognize words. If he hadn't seen it with his own eyes, he wouldn't have believed it." Then he took the ticket and asked Anan in his arms if he knew the numbers. Anan cooperated and recited a few of them. Su Tingqian was extremely happy. He believed that the descendants of his Su family would not be bad. The 2 elders were busy teasing their grandson, while Lu Xiaolan secretly said to Su Mo, "Third sister-in-law, do you understand what they are saying?" There were a few locals chatting in the car. Lu Xiaolan listened for a long time, but didn't understand a word. She was so worried. What would she do if she couldn't even understand what they were saying? "I can understand a little bit." Su Mo said, "It's okay, just listen a few more times and you'll be able to roughly guess the meaning." "Third sister-in-law, you are amazing." Lu Xiaolan secretly gave a thumbs up. Not only can she speak foreign languages, she can even speak the local dialect. Su Mo waved her hand. "I also had a classmate from Yangqing before, and I learned a few sentences from her." The original owner did have a high school classmate who came from Yangqing, but their relationship was average. To take the tram from the school to the staff quarters. When we were almost there, the conductor shouted, "Those going to the staff quarters, get ready to get off the bus." I was about to get off the bus. The conductor tore off the coupon and gave it back to me. There is a post office not far from the tram station. A group of people went there to ask about the package and were told that it had been delivered to the message room in the family compound. Su Mo didn't expect that the post office service here was so good and could deliver so many things. Then, she called Lujia village. Lu Qing'an answered the phone. Su Mo told him that they had arrived at the family compound last evening. She briefly told him about the situation there and then asked Lu Xiaolan to talk to Lu Qing'an for a few words. After Lu Xiaolan finished speaking, Su Mo called Geng Chongqing again, but he was not at the county party committee. Su Mo asked her secretary to tell him that she had arrived safely in Yangcheng. After making the call, they returned to the family quarters. The family compound is quite far from the tram station, and it takes 7 or 8 minutes to walk. When I arrived at the gate, the guard saw that it was Su Mo and said, "Comrade Su Mo, there is a package for you in the message room. Remember to pick it up." These guards are all trained and have excellent skills in recognizing people. They could recognize Su Mo even though it was only her second day. Su Mo thanked them and went to the message room next door to get the packages. There were 4 large packages in total, and Su Mo and Lu Xiaolan made 2 trips to move them back. A north wind blew today, and the temperature was a little lower than yesterday. The air was not so humid, and the house looked a lot drier. Su Mo quickly opened the doors and windows to let the north wind. The 2 elders had already started wiping Su Mo's bed and cabinets. Su Mo and Lu Xiaolan were busy unpacking packages and putting things away one by one. The 2 little ones were walking with their short legs, looking here and there. When everything was almost in place, Su Mo took out a notebook and listed the missing items one by one to avoid missing any. While she was writing, she heard someone calling her from outside the door. "Comrade Su Mo, are you home?" Su Mo went out and saw 2 PLA comrades standing outside the courtyard gate. One was a middle-aged man who looked to be in his 40s, and the other was younger, probably in his 20s. Su Mo hurried to open the gate. "Comrades, is there anything you want to talk to me about?" The middle-aged man smiled and said, "Comrade Su Mo, I am Wei Liang, the political commissar of the logistics department. I came to see how your arrangements are going. Are there any difficulties?" Su Mo quickly let the person in. "Thank you, political commissar Wei, for your concern. I can still handle this for now. If there are any difficulties, I will definitely speak to the organization. Comrade Lu Chongqing has gone to training. If you encounter any problems, don't be afraid to speak up. The organization will do its best to find a solution. It is relatively rare for family members to accompany the troops, but the soldiers are not in the army. In such cases, the army will provide the greatest assistance as appropriate." "Okay. Thank you, organization. Thank you, leadership." Political Commissar Wei went in and saw that they were still packing up, so he said, "There is a canteen to the east of the family compound. When you don't have time to cook, you can go to the canteen to get food. Next to the canteen, there is also a military service center, which has basic daily necessities and commodities." "That's great. I was just thinking about where to go shopping," Su Mo said with a smile. "I came here to ask for one more thing. Commander Lin told us yesterday to send Comrade Lu Chongqing's salary for the past few months to you first. These days, soldier salaries are allocated by the General Logistics Department to the logistics departments of each military region, and then by the logistics departments of the military regions to the financial departments of each unit in charge of logistics. Officers usually go to the finance department to collect their wages every month. Lu Chongqing was away for several months for training, so he had not received his wages. Commander Lin was afraid that Su Mo would come to ask for money, so he contacted the logistics department and asked them to send Lu Chongqing's wages to his family first. After Lu Chongqing was transferred to the frontline troops, his salary increased from 127 yuan to the current 141 yuan. As a rule, 14 yuan is deducted every month for food expenses, a total of 508 yuan in 4 months. After expressing her gratitude, Su Mo signed the document and took the money. In addition, officers are given some military coupons every month. In addition to the original share, Political Commissar Wei gave Su Mo another one, saying that it was a subsidy that family members would receive when accompanying the troops. After settling Lu Chongqing's salary, Political Commissar Wei gave Su Mo the food book for the other 3 people. Su Mo opened it and saw that she and Lu Xiaolan received 36 kilograms of food grains per month, while the 2 children only received 10 kilograms of fine food grains per month. Of the 36 kilograms of food that Su Mo and her friends have, only 30% is fine grains, which means only about 11 kilograms of fine grains per month. This is even worse than when she was in the Hongqi commune. Although she only had 27 kilograms of grain at that time, it was all fine grain. It seems that the food problem in southern cities is indeed serious. Commissar Wei, do we go to the grain station to buy our food? No, the staff quarters will do the centralized purchasing. You can just go to the canteen office at the beginning of each month to buy them, said Political Commissar Wei. In the past, family members would go to nearby grain stations to buy grain, but many family members reported that buying grain was extremely difficult, and it was almost like going to war. There were also various problems with the grain they bought. Finally, with the approval of the leaders, the food for the family compound will be purchased centrally by the troops in the future. The electricity and water charges are posted on the notice board of the family compound in the early morning of each month. You have to go to the management office to pay the charges before the 15th of each month. The electricity charge is 2.2 yuan per kilowatt hour, and the water charge is 1.3 yuan per ton. It was said that Captain Lu's family came from the countryside, and Political Commissar Wei reminded them of this in case they didn't know. Some family members did not know about this before and thought water was free, so they used it as much as they wanted. Only when they went to pay the bill did they find out that they had to pay a large amount of water bill and started making a fuss. There is also a nursery in the family compound. The fee is 3 yuan per month. If you need to send your child there, you just need to go to the management office to complete the procedures. After Political Commissar Wei explained everything that needed to be explained, he took the young comrade away. Su Mo and Su Tingqian escorted him to the door together. This army can help you buy food, which saves you a lot of trouble, Su Tingqian said. It's hard to buy grain here. Basically, the grain station only sells grain in the first few days of the month. After the 10th, there is basically no grain for sale. Those people in the staff building have to line up in the early morning every time they want to buy grain. They didn't know when they first came here and thought about waiting until the peak at the beginning of the month before going. As a result, the grain station had no grain to sell. Fortunately, the school has a cafeteria. After that, the two of them stopped cooking for themselves. Although eating in the cafeteria was more expensive, it saved a lot of trouble. After almost finishing the cleanup, Su Mo took a few people to the cafeteria in the staff quarters. The canteen in the family compound is also a bungalow, not very big. It is lunchtime and it is Sunday, so there are quite a lot of people here. However, most of them take lunch boxes to take home, so not many people eat inside. Sumo's family didn't even have bowls and chopsticks except for the lunch boxes they brought on the train, so they had to eat here. Su Mo went to buy meal tickets first. The food was similar to the canteen in Hongqi commune, but the price was slightly higher than there. In the commune canteen is 1.5 cents per pound, but here it is 1.6 cents per pound. Vegetables are 5 cents per portion, and meat and vegetables range from 1.5 to 40 cents. Today there are 3 kinds of staple food: rice, porridge, and sweet potatoes, unlike in the north where we only have steamed buns. A bowl of rice costs 2 liang of meal tickets, while porridge and sweet potatoes cost 1 liang of meal tickets. Su Mo ordered 3 bowls of rice, 2 bowls of porridge, and 2 servings of sweet potatoes, and asked Su Tingqian to take them over first. The dishes I ordered were stir-fried pork slices with peppers, stir-fried pork with winter melon, soy sauce chicken, steamed spare ribs, and steamed fish with fermented black beans. Stir-fried pork with vegetables is 1.5 cents per portion, soy sauce chicken is 3.5 cents, steamed spare ribs is 3.0 cents, and steamed fish with fermented black beans is 2.5 cents. The meal cost $1.36 for 4 adults and 2 children, and the dishes didn't look bad. The dishes here are all served in plates. You can take the food to the cafeteria after giving the ticket or pack it up in a lunchbox. When you are done, just put the plate in the recycling area. Canteen: the 4 adults shared the rice and sweet potatoes, and the porridge was given to the 2 children, who ate it with fish and shredded chicken, and they enjoyed it very much. While Su Mo was getting her meal, she observed that this canteen should be used by the army to provide employment for family members. Sumo saw that all the employees inside were women, and many of them were working with their children on their backs. She also saw that there were several small tables near the kitchen, where several children were sitting and eating by themselves. Sumo was thinking, if she could handle the job by herself and not take up the quota for transfer, could she give the quota to Lu Xiaolan and let the army arrange for her to work here? This way I can work and take care of the children at the same time. She always believed that it is better for people to have their own jobs so that they can have confidence no matter what they do. If she can find a job, she will send her 2 children to a nursery when they are 1 year old. Lu Xiaolan will work here and can go over to look after them when she is not busy. After dinner, several people went to the military service center next door to buy things. There are really a lot of things to buy. Su Mo will have to live in the house in Lujia village when she returns, so she didn't bring any daily necessities with her. There was only one cupboard and a coal stove in the kitchen, and all the utensils for cooking had to be purchased from scratch. Su Mo asked for a 24 centimeters aluminum pot, which can be used for cooking rice, porridge, and soup. She also asked for a kitchen knife, a cutting board, 6 fine porcelain bowls, 10 rice bowls, a pair of chopsticks, and an iron pan for cooking on a coal stove. An aluminum pot costs 5.59 yuan each, a kitchen knife costs 1.66 yuan each, a cutting board costs 0.3 yuan each, a vegetable bowl costs 0.21 yuan each, a rice bowl costs 0.1 yuan each, chopsticks cost 10 cents a pair, and an iron frying pan costs 0.98 yuan each. The kitchen supplies cost $10.89, plus 2 industrial coupons. Su Mo was also shocked when she heard the price of the iron pot, because in the novel she had read, iron pots should be very expensive items. She confirmed it several times, which made the family sister, who was selling the item, a little impatient. Su Mo has never bought an iron pot since she came here, so I didn't know this. Lu Xiaolan felt a little embarrassed and quickly pulled Su Mo over and said, "Third sister-in-law, this kind of small iron pot is priced at this price, and ours is also the same. It's just that they're often out of stock. Every time an iron pot arrives, it will be sold out within 3 days. Because this kind of small iron pot is actually not durable and easily gets holes after long-term use, most people will keep an extra one for future use." After buying kitchen supplies, Su Mo continued to purchase daily necessities such as oil, salt, sauce, vinegar, toothpaste, toothbrush, paper towels, soap, etc. She also bought a few enamel pots, 2 enamel wash basins, 2 thermos bottles, 2 buckets for bathing, and 3 bamboo mats for making beds. This trip cost me almost $50, and I bought all the things I needed. Honeycomb coal is not sold at the military service center. You have to go to the coal station to buy it. Then you have to pay 20 cents for the delivery fee, and the master at the coal station will ride a 3-wheeled bicycle to bring it to you. The lady at the service center also carefully told Su Mo how to get there. It's not too far. It only takes about 10 minutes by bike. Su Mo thanked him, took the things home, and then went to the cafeteria with Lu Xiaolan to buy food for this month. Now all that's missing is the honeycomb coal to burn. The family compound, each person is given a fixed amount of 1 honeycomb briquettes ticket per month, the kind that comes with 25 briquettes. Political Commissar Wei gave Su Mo 4 tickets this morning, probably 1 for each of the 3 adults and 1 for the 2 children. Mom, do you know how many honeycomb coals we need to burn in a month?
Su Mo asked.
I see those people in the staff building cooking 3 meals a day. If they want to be frugal, they only need to change 3 pieces of coal a day. Mo Yurong said, that would be 90 per month. She only has 100 per month now. If she doesn't control it well, she might exceed the limit. Su Mo is a little bald, and when he arrives in the city, he has to worry about not having enough firewood. Life is really not easy for people in this era. They have to plan everything from food, clothing, and housing to just enough. Seeing that his daughter was worried about the coal, Su Tiqian quickly took out the money from his pocket and handed the coal ticket to Su Mo. Momo, these are the coal coupons that Dad's school issued. I'll give them all to you from now on. Together they should be enough for you. Su Mo waved her hands. No. Give it to me. What do you want to use? We don't cook, but we need some firewood to boil water. Your mother also gets firewood coupons every month, so that's enough. Coal tickets must be used within the same month. They will become invalid after the expiration date. Your father used to exchange them for other tickets with others. Mo Yurong added. Since Lu Changzheng was transferred here, the couple has been saving these daily coupons every month, fearing that they will not have the coupons when their daughter comes. Unfortunately, the coal coupons must be used within the same month, so they only have this month's coupons. After Fu Manhua found someone to repay the overseas remittances the year before last, Su Tingde found a way to ask someone overseas to pass a message to Su Zhongqing, asking them to stop sending the money. They must have received the message and stopped sending money last year. Su Mo accepted the coal ticket only after she confirmed that her parents really had no need for it. Honeycomb briquette ticket. Su Tingqian's rank is not low. He gets 50 pieces of coal every month, plus Su Mo's 100 pieces. That's enough for every month. Su Mo took the coal ticket and went to the family compound management office, found the older sister there, borrowed a bicycle, and went to the nearby coal station with Su Tingqian. When she arrived at the coal station, Su Mo first went to the toll booth at the door to pay and get a receipt.
3.4 yuan per 100 kilograms.
One honeycomb briquette weighs about 2 kilograms, so 150 pieces will be counted as 150 kilograms. Su Mo paid 5.10 yuan for the coal and an extra 20 cents for the transportation fee, and asked the coal deliver man to deliver it to the family compound. The humidity in Guangzhou is very high during this period, the coal in the coal yard is drying up slowly, and there is not much stock left at their coal station. The cashier originally wanted Su Mo to wait for a few days, but when he saw that the address she said was the military family compound, he wrote her a note. Take the note and go to the back and ask the master to install it for you and send it over. Su Mo thanked him and went to the back to find a coal deliver man. She gave him the note. The coal deliver man took the note and asked, "Where are you going?" "The military family compound,"
Su Mo said.
The master frowned. He really didn't like going there. One had to register to enter and leave, and there were people all over the place, talking in a gibberish way that he could hardly understand. But the master didn't say anything. He rode his tricycle to the place where the coal was stored and loaded 160 briquettes. He loaded 10 more because he was afraid that they would be damaged on the road, and he had to ensure that the 150 briquettes he gave to the man were all good. The father and daughter followed the master to transport the coal back. When they passed by the management office, they returned the bicycle. Lu Xiaolan had already cleaned up a corner in the kitchen. Once the coal was moved to the kitchen, the daily necessities would basically be ready. Seeing that it was getting late, Su Mo quickly took some old newspapers to start a fire. Today was the first day of cooking, so she had to treat her parents to a good meal. The last tram was at 8 p.m., so she had to hurry. The coal stove provided by the army was the kind with a hot water cylinder next to it. After the fire was lit, Su Mo cleaned the hot water cylinder again, plugged the drain, and added water. This way, you can get hot water while cooking, and you don't have to boil hot water specifically for a bath. While Su Mo was making a fire, Lu Xiaolan had already gone to buy vegetables. After a while, he came back and didn't buy anything. He bought 2 pounds of eggs, 1 pound of sausage, a few green peppers, a piece of winter melon, and a handful of leeks. Third sister-in-law, there are no vegetables to sell, so I bought these. This bunch of leeks was given to me by the lady next door. The neighbor wanted to come over to chat for a long time, but seeing that everyone was busy, he never came. Seeing Lu Xiaolan going to buy vegetables, he followed her and chatted for a while. It's okay, just eat it. After the fire was burning, Su Mo cooked rice in an aluminum pot, cut 2 pieces of sausage and put it on top, then made some winter melon soup, scrambled eggs with green peppers and stir-fried leeks. Having breakfast and dinner, I sent my parents to take the tram. I came back. I happened to see the lady next door calling her children to come back for dinner. Su Mo watched from afar and suddenly 3 children, 2 boys and 1 girl, jumped out from somewhere and ran back home quickly. The elder sister also saw Su Mo and asked with a smile, "What are you going to do?" "Send my parents to the bus." Su Mo smiled. "Sister-in-law, thank you for the chives." "You're welcome," said the eldest sister, and then asked, "Aren't you here to follow the army from the north? Why are your parents here too?" Su Mo smiled and said, "Yes, my parents were transferred here to work last year." Wang Tsueme thought to herself that her parents both had jobs here, so they must be very important. Judging from the way her parents were dressed, they were probably cadres. My name is Wang Tsueme. What should I call you, sister? My name is Suemo. Wang Tsueme wanted to say a few more words to Suemo, but a little boy who looked about 7 or 8 years old ran out of the room and shouted at her. Mom, didn't you say we were ready for dinner? Wait, I'll be there soon. Wang Tsueme said, smiling at Suemo. Suemo, I'll go eat first. Okay, Sister Wang. Suemo smiled and went home. In the evening, when the man came back, Wang Tsueme asked him, whose family members live next door? Wang Tsueme only learned from Lu Xiaolan that they came from the north, and she didn't know much else. She was very curious about why they came suddenly. He was transferred here from the north, with his superiors. His surname is Liu, and he's a regiment commander. Wang Tsueme's husband is Zheng Guosheng, who is in his 30s and works in the general staff. His rank is the same as Lu Chongjing. The house next door has been empty for a few days. How come I've never seen him living there? There was someone living next door before, but that person was transferred to another place along with his former leader, so the house became vacant. I heard that he was sent on a mission just half a month after he arrived, and he hasn't come back yet. Zheng Guosheng said. No wonder. Wang Tsueme nodded. Well, let me tell you, the parents next door also work here. Judging from their appearance, they are probably cadres. I guess they were transferred here, because their parents were here. I heard from Captain Lu's sister that their family is from the countryside.
Stop.
Zheng Guosheng scolded. Can you change your habit of being nosy? What does it have to do with you? We are neighbors. Why don't you ask what's going on? Wang Tsueme was dissatisfied. Can you please stop causing trouble for me? If you can't get along with this family, just go back to your hometown. Zheng Guosheng was so angry that he threw his hands and went into the room. Had many conflicts with the family she was transferred to before, and her leader reminded her several times to keep her family members under control. After Suemo returned, she fetched water and gave the 2 little ones a bath. Then he made a mat on the bed, put the thin quilt that was sent by mail on it as a mattress, and started to coax the 2 little ones to sleep. As for the quilt, she brought one from her parents when she came here today. Lu Xiaolan also sent a thin quilt, which was just right for her at this time. The next day, Suemo measured the size of the bed. Breakfast, he went to the post office and sent a telegram to the Lu family, asking them to help make 3 quilts according to the measurements, and sent 50 yuan back. Then I called Tao Peishing to ask him when it would be convenient for me to send the bicycle and sewing machine. It was really inconvenient to travel without a bicycle. Tao Peishing told her that he had already arranged to send them out a few days after they set off, and that they would probably arrive in a few days, so he asked her to stay tuned for more information. On the other side, in the waters near a certain military island, a group of people were conducting underwater combat training, and Lu Chongjing was among them. Forming a special team is to face the entire army. China's current naval power is still relatively weak, and in the past 2 years, there have been frequent disputes with other countries over the southern islands. Therefore, the idea of forming a special maritime team has long been on the agenda. Yangcheng Military Region started preparations last year, mobilizing 200 elite soldiers from the entire army, conducting a training session, and selecting 100 elite soldiers. Mid-January, the second training session was officially launched, and another 50 people were selected from the 100 people. Lin was very optimistic about Lu Chongjing. After asking for his opinion, he included him in the 100 people to participate in the second training session. As a paratrooper who suddenly appeared through the back door, Lu Chongjing naturally attracted a lot of firepower. They were all top soldiers, and they all had their own pride, and most of them looked down on this kind of backdoor behavior. Moreover, they had eaten, lived, and trained with the 100 eliminated people for several months, so naturally they had feelings for them. Some people were very indignant that the quota would rather be given to an outsider than to those people. So, at the beginning, Lu Chongjing's life was quite difficult. To mention that he was a target, he was a man who had been fighting on land for years and was not particularly good at fighting on the water. But he is the type of person who is not afraid of anything, no matter how difficult it is, and is determined to conquer it. It only took Lu Chongjing 3 months to go from always being in the last few places in the beginning to always being in the top few places now. His comrades' views of him also gradually changed from disdain at the beginning to admiration. Now, the second phase of training has ended, and what follows will be a 3-day assessment. After the assessment, it will be decided who will stay and who will go. The last day is the underwater stealth combat assessment. You have to hide and fight. You have to hide well and not be discovered, and you have to secretly look for your opponents and eliminate them until only 50 people are left. At that time, unlike in later generations, there were not all kinds of high-tech equipment, and the competition was all about physical fitness and hard work. Each of these scouts carried only a small bottle of oxygen, a dagger, and a signal gun, which they used to call for help when they encountered danger, or to let the ship pick them up if they were eliminated. Of the assessment, the warship pulled 101 scouts to the designated sea area and then dropped one at a certain distance. After Lu Chongjing entered the water, he was not in a hurry to look for other people. Instead, he first found a reef to hide under, letting others consume their energy first before he took action. Because of the limited oxygen, Lu Chongjing held a hollow straw in his mouth to breathe. This straw was prepared when he was on the island. The rules of the assessment did not say that these things could not be prepared. Lu Chongjing lay motionless underwater for several hours. During this time, several people passed by, but did not notice him. There was only one unlucky guy who was tired of swimming and wanted to see if there was any reef exposed above the water, so he could lean on it to rest for a while. However, he was killed by Lu Chongjing before he could get close. The unlucky guy didn't notice Lu Chongjing until he was solved. The expression on his face was really colorful. Lu Chongjing ignored him, but just made a gesture to him, asking him to swim away before firing the signal gun. When the time was almost up, Lu Chongjing took action, swam out secretly, and successfully dealt with the 3 opponents. Just as he was looking for the 4th one, a broadcast from a warship came from the sea, saying that the assessment was over and asking the remaining people to return to the warship. In the end, Lu Chongjing defeated 4 opponents and won the 3rd place in this assessment. The overall assessment score was 2nd, and he successfully entered the next round. Returning to the island, the young men who had been trained on the island for 3 months packed up their things and prepared to return to their original units. Some were happy, some were sad, but everyone blessed and encouraged each other. Lu Chongjing was packing up when one of the instructors in charge of training came over and called Lu Chongjing, saying that the leader wanted to see him. When Lu Chongjing came over, the leader said, "Comrade Lu Chongjing, the military district sent a telegram saying that your wife and children have arrived safely, so you can rest assured."
What?
Lu Chongjing was confused. How did his wife arrive safely? He hadn't even completed the procedures for her to join the army. Oh. More than a month ago, the military district also sent a telegram saying that your wife would come to join the army in advance. I was afraid that it would affect your training, so I didn't let you know. The leader also admired Lu Chongjing very much. At first, he thought he was a relative and didn't want him to come, but since the new leader gave the order personally, he had no choice but to obey. Then he watched Lu Chongjing gritting his teeth and climbing up step by step from the tail end of the crane. He saw him several times while others were resting. He was silently repeating the monotonous and boring training alone, just to catch up with everyone as soon as possible. He really admired this kind of young man who was determined, calm, and hardworking, and didn't want him to be eliminated in the end, so he suppressed the news. Lu Chongjing. He won't have to kneel on the washboard when he goes back this time, will he? At the same time, he was a little anxious. His wife came to join the army without waiting for his notice. Could something have happened? After settling down on the 16th, Su and Mo went to visit Zhang Zhen again. Seeing that the old man was like a fish in water in the library and his spirits were much better than before, she knew that the old man really liked this job and felt relieved. In the next 2 days, Su and Mo took Lu Xiaolan and the 2 children to travel around Guangzhou. We first visited the landmark of Yangqing Hotel. Hotel in the 1970s, Yangqing Hotel was completed and opened in April 1968. The main building has 27 floors and is 86.51 meters high. It was the tallest building in the country at that time, and also the largest hotel in the country. It was mainly used to entertain foreign guests and had more than 300 guest rooms. When Lu Xiaolan saw it, she was completely shocked. She asked Su and Mo to take a picture quickly, develop it, and send it back to her parents to open their eyes. Then, I went shopping in the department store in Yangcheng and bought a lot of things for my home. Finally, we visited some famous scenic spots in Guangzhou. That day, when the group came back from shopping, they saw Lu Chongjing sitting at the door of the message room with his luggage. Seeing those people, Lu Chongjing stood up with a bright smile. It's just that he had been training on the island for several months, and he was tanned very dark. When he smiled, revealing a row of white teeth, he looked a little silly. "Wife, I'm back," Lu Xiaolan exclaimed. "Oh my God. Third brother, how did you become like this?" Lele looked at Lu Chongjing, then asked Su Emo, "Mom, who?" "This is Dad."
Je m'explique.
Lele wrinkled his nose and said, "Ugly." As soon as Lu Chongjing approached, he heard his son say that he was ugly, and he instantly laughed.
This.
How dare he say he is ugly? "Lulu, what's ugly about Daddy?" Lu Chongjing asked with a grin through gritted teeth. This was really his good eldest son who stabbed him in the back as soon as they met. At the same time, he felt a little uneasy. He had been on the island for the past few months, exposed to the wind, sun, and rain, and his appearance had indeed deteriorated a bit. Before he came back, he even went to get his hair cut and tidied himself up a bit. He is a little tanned and doesn't look as handsome as before, but he shouldn't be ugly, right? Lu Chongjing didn't care much about his appearance before, but when they were having fun, he asked Su Emo what she liked about him that made her agree to marry him. Su Emo casually said that he was handsome. Only then did Lu Chongjing start to pay a little attention to his appearance, so as to avoid losing his beauty and love. Lele took another serious look and stabbed with a second knife. "Ugly." Lu Chongjing smiled, stretched out his free hand, and took Lele from Sumo's arms. "Come here, dear son, let Daddy hold you." Lu Chongjing supported Lele's with his elbow, put his palm under Lele's armpit, and began to tickle him. Lele immediately screamed in surprise, and after a while, he started to giggle. Su Emo knew that Lu Chongjing knew his limits, so she didn't stop him. Instead, she reached out and took the luggage bag from his hand. "We haven't seen each other for a long time. Let him get familiar with the children." After his other hand was free, Lu Chongjing picked up Anan, who was being held by Lu Xiaolan. Lu Chongjing had a completely different attitude towards his daughter. He held her tightly and securely, fearing that he would drop her. "Let us go home." Lu Chongjing held his two children and walked towards home. After returning home, Lu Xiaolan let the couple talk and went to cook. Seeing that the clothes in Lu Chongjing's luggage bag were all clean, Su Emo took them into the room and prepared to put them in the closet. When Lu Chongjing saw his wife enter the room, he quickly followed her in, put the two children on the bed, leaned over, hugged Su Emo, and said with a somewhat aggrieved tone, "Wife, have I really become ugly?" Su Emo looked at the face that had darkened several shades and wanted to laugh, but she held it back and said against her will, "No, it's more masculine now." Lu Chongjing could see that his wife didn't tell the truth, but that was good enough as long as she didn't mind. "Wife, you came here early to join the army. Is there something wrong?" Su Emo told Gung Chongqing about the job he introduced to her. "I have to take a recruitment exam on the 25th, so I came here early." Lu Chongjing nodded. This job was indeed very suitable for his wife, and the army might not be able to arrange a more suitable one. "By the way, how long can you stay this time? Can you stay in Yangqing in the future?" Su Emo asked. The Yangqing military region is in charge of several provinces, and it has not yet been determined where Lu Chongjing will be assigned. It would be embarrassing if she settles down in Yangqing and Lu Chongjing is eventually assigned to other provinces. I should be able to stay for a while until the next training camp and then go out. "Wife, don't worry, I will try my best to stay in Guangzhou." Lu Chongjing said that after he came back, he first went to report to the leader. From what the leader said, he wanted him to lead the team in the future. This special team is directly led by the military district headquarters. It is sent out when there is a mission and naturally stays in Yangcheng when there is no mission. Lu Chongjing mentioned this to Su Mo in a veiled way. Su Mo listened and felt that this was a bit like the special forces of later generations. Unexpectedly, the country started trying this so early. Because she had studied history intensively for a period of time before, Su Mo knew that the country's first Special Forces Brigade was established in 1988. Su Mo nodded and asked, "Do you have any time off? I want to go to Guangxi to visit my uncle before the exam." "Yes, I have a week's vacation, so we will set off in the next 2 days." Lu Chongjing said, "Today is already the 19th. Although there is an express train from Guangzhou to Guangxi province, it still takes 10 hours. At this time, the eldest sister in the message room came over and called Su Mo, saying that she had just received a call and asked her to go to the railway station, to the railway staff guest house, to find Comrade Tao to get something. When Su Mo heard this, she knew that the things that Tao Peixing helped to send had arrived, so she sent Lu Chongjing to get them. So, it is better to return at the right time than to return early so that you can get things done as soon as you return. Lu Chongjing borrowed a car from the army and went to the train station to find someone to pick up his things. Tao Peixing looked carefree, but he was also a careful person. He was afraid that they would dismantle the things and Su Mo and the other women would not know how to put them back together, so he specifically told his relatives